Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Vlog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everyone doing this evening? Happy Saturday to everyone, and happy 19K day. We just hit 19,000 subscribers on the YouTube channels today, so thank you so much to everyone that has been a part of this journey, everyone that's been here from the beginning, all the newcomers as well, and all of those in between. You guys are freaking awesome, so thank y'all so much for the support, and thank you all so much for joining me on a Saturday night. Blessed All Souls Day to everyone, praying for everyone and everyone's lost loved ones. All right, we got people over on the D Live and on YouTube today. We got Captain Poppyton's here. What's going on, Captain Poppyton? How is it going, good sir? How is it going? We got Laura in the chat, Soul Assassin, Mary Mayhem, Mr. Happy Slack, Blake Hemlow, HyperX13 is here. Tina and Steph are both here. What's going on, my Valks? What is going on? Robert Frey is here as well. Micah Martinez is here. We also, of course, got Heimdall working the chat bot today. Laura says, woohoo! Thank you very much, Laura. I appreciate that. Venom Broly 93 is here. Zoomed 1975 is here as well. Tommy, Bill Whitaker. Micah Martinez says, congrats for 19K. You deserve it. Thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. It's been a fun journey. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate those kind words. Ruben Sanchez, what's going on, man? Soul Assassin is here. William Jenkins, Zach Gregg is here. Nickel Noodles is here. Dark Ness is here. Razvan, Mihanu, what's going on? How is it going? Let's see. Titanic A is here. Father Christopher Miller, God bless you, Father. Says, heading out for a while. Got to go to work. Go work, Father. Say those masses. Jace Doe, congrats on 19K. Thank you very much for Jace Doe. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. 70B says, happy 19K day. Yes, indeed, Stephanie B. Thank you very much. Gradania is here as well. HyperX13 says, congrats, my brother. My aunt passed away last Monday. Anyways, I'm happy I got to spend time with her before she left the earth. Well, I'll be keeping her in my prayers this weekend. So thank you for sharing that with us. GMike76, what's going on, man? Ace is in the chat. Venom Broly says, do you have the song Amazing Grace on CD? You should play it when we do 1 minute of silence for the death of Terminator franchise. Knowing YouTube, they would probably have someone copyright strike it. I just know it. Even though that's probably a part of the public domain at this point, I would not be surprised if that was going to happen. Soul Assassin says, congratulations on 19K. You're awesome. Looking forward to you reaching 100K. Still a ways away from that. Still a ways away from that. I am but a small time, and I actually like it. I like it that way. I like being a smaller community because it means I get to interact more with you guys, and I like it that way. So if we get there, awesome. I'll be happy with that. But I'm happy where we are right now as well. So thank you so much again for everyone who's been here along the way. Laura says, Josiah is going to see The Lighthouse tonight. That's awesome. I'm planning to see it tomorrow. So my plan is we're getting an hour back tomorrow. So remember, guys, to set your clocks. We are gaining an hour of sleep is how I like to put it. And sleep is a wonderful thing. But after Mass tomorrow, I'm going to do some stuff at home, YouTube stuff. And then I'm planning to spend the day at the theater is my initial plan so far. Got to check in with Freya first, of course. But my plan is to see that among other films tomorrow because Lord knows I need it because I have not seen too many. Let's see. The K-Man is up over on D-Live. Thank you for the 2 pumpkin donation. And Captain Poppyton, thank you for the 2 pumpkin donation over there as well. I'm liking these pumpkins. I'm hoping that even though Halloween's over, we keep the pumpkin game going. Entertainment Wizard, thank you for the subscription over on YouTube, man. And Mary Mayhem, Mary, you do not have to donate anything. Says, huge grats on 19K, ya bearded face. Well, thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Mary Mayhem, go subscribe to her. She is good peeps. Geeks and Gamer fam. Odin's alive? Yes, Odin is alive. Slice and Neon, what's going on, good sir? Jace Doe, thank you very much for sending me more digital codes to give away. He just sent me a crap ton. Jace, I think I'm going to claim one of those codes because I've been told I need to watch Batman Beyond, and I have not watched it yet. And you have one of those codes that you sent me. So I might claim that for myself. Have not decided yet. Of course, it's your code, so you can do with it what you wish. Darkness says, congrats on 19K. Thank you very much, man. Lorenzo Who says, haven't caught a stream in a while. Sup, my dude? What is going on, Lorenzo Who? How is it going? Hope you are doing just fine. The China Man is here. He says, what's up? Oh, Dad, what's going on? China Man. China Man is a newcomer to the channel. Glad to have you here once again. Nickel Noodle says, 19K is no joke. That's a full sports stadium full of people. Congrats. Well, thank you, Nickel Noodles. I appreciate that very, very much. So, yeah. You're right. When I think of the numbers, it does seem overwhelming at times. But also, again, for me, it's the people that I interact with. Because even though 19,000 people are subscribed, there's only a fraction that actually watch the videos daily, interact on the live streams. And so that's what I'm happy with, though, is that the channel can get to be 100,000 subscribers. And as long as I've got as awesome of a daily crew as I have, the people that are, again, active on the live streams, that are active in the comment section, the pinned comments, especially on the videos, and also, of course, all the fun that I have on Twitter as well, that's the most important thing, because it's all about having fun. And if I'm having fun, hopefully you're having fun. And if you're not having fun, hopefully we can try and address it. But again, it's all about having fun. You all know that I have a full-time job outside of this, and I love them both. I love teaching, and I love doing this. And so as long as I keep loving doing both, then I will continue to do it. So very, very happy to be here, and thank you so much again for that. I really do appreciate it. Super Anime Gamer, thank you for the $5 super chat, says, occurred to me recently that even though I talk your ear off every stream and love your channel, I never super chat. Thanks for all you do, Allfather. Super Anime Gamer, no problem at all. You all know one of the staples of the channel, one of the things that I try to do the very best that I can. I'm not perfect at it, obviously, but I try to read all comments that come my way. I try to make it so that you don't have to super chat just to have your comment read. And I'm not going after anyone that does, because obviously some channels are just so big that it would be almost impossible to have a decent stream without some type of controls. So you all know I read super chats and donations first. They always get priority whenever they pop up, because obviously someone is not just donating their time, but also their hard-earned money. But if you donate your time to the streams as well, as long as you, and the way I always do it, and for those that are new to the channel, the way that I always do it for my live streams, if you put on YouTube, Odin question, all one word, it pops up orange for me. And I'm like, oh, this person wants to get my attention, and I read them. So if you ever see me reading the same comments over and over again, it's not because they're giving me money. It's not because they're a part of some secret club. It's just there's certain rules that I have to have for the channel, just because it allows me to continue to do that. It allows me to interact with every single person on the channel that wants to be interacted with, that wants to have their question asked, that wants to have a conversation going. And yeah, so if you want to be a part of that, just type Odin question, all one word. You don't have to put the @ symbol or anything like that. I know it's a little bit tougher than just tagging the channel name, but it just makes things a little bit easier for me on my end, because sometimes people tag the channel and they're just talking about conversations that they're having about me, and this keeps it a little bit more, I think, on point. So it helps me out. But thank you very much, Super Anime Gamer. I appreciate that. Laura Ryan stole my fan fiction story. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Says, congrats, Allfather. Hope you love The Lighthouse. I do too, Laura. I do as well. I think I will. It seems to have all of the makings of a film that I personally would enjoy, especially as a film geek. So the fact that it's 4:3 aspect ratio, shot on 35 millimeter film, and also using lenses from that time period, all those things have already got me excited for the film, and I haven't even seen the movie yet. Mr. Peabody over on DLive says, Dark Fate is the box they should have left in the office. That's one way to say it. That is definitely one way to say it. I haven't seen it yet myself. I've heard some people say, don't waste your hours, don't waste your time on it. But I do kind of want to see it so that way I can make up my own opinion on it as well. But all I can say is this. I don't want to help contribute to the box office, because I kind of want this film to fail. For those that missed my box office video today, they are doing quite terribly, not just domestically in the US, but also overseas. It is expected to come in about half of what they projected it was going to make in China. They projected between $40 and $50 million opening weekend in China. It's set to make around 20. That's abysmal. That's awful. So this is a movie that in all likelihood is going to make less than the last one, which means that this is going to be the lowest grossing Terminator film of all time, and the first Terminator film to officially lose money at the box office as well. Not looking good for them. And also, Patricia, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. All right, jumping back over to the YouTube chat. Let us see here. Micah Martinez says, I'm going to pass on Dark Fate and watch The Lighthouse at some point. I've heard nothing but great things. Me too. That's why it's at the top of my list of films that I want to go see in the actual movie theater. I've just been missing out on so many films lately, and probably for good reason, because there's some films that really aren't worth seeing, aren't worth paying money to go see, even though normally I would go see them to review for the channel. But luckily, it's interesting that one of the goals that I always had, one of the dreams that I always had, was I want to be a movie reviewer, because I love talking about movies, and I still do. And I talk about movies all the time. But I found that because I also care about box office numbers, because I also care about news stories as well, I haven't needed to really make as many of those films, and that's made me actually more lazy. because other channels where it's just film reviews, that's all they have to do, right? All they need to do is go see movies and then review them. So it's one of those things that's it's actually almost made me lazier because we don't really focus too much on, individual movie reviews and nothing but those. So I still want to keep on doing them because I think that I like talking about movies, and I will continue to love to talk about movies because it's been a part of my life for such a long time. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow my plans will indeed move forward. China Man says, "Congrats on 19K subs. You made the great community, and you made a great community and audience." I see. Here's the thing. I don't think that I made anything. To me, it's I was here and I talked, and then the audience kind of just found me. I feel like we found each other in a lot of ways. And I know that's corny. I know it's like, oh, he's just saying that, but it is true because someone at some point either stumbled across it, was following someone else who mentioned it, or something to that effect. Decided to jump into the streams, listen, hear what was going on. They're like, hey, this is actually really nice. It's a good supportive community. We all support each other in whatever works that we possibly can. We're always just very civil with each other, even when we disagree, which we do disagree quite often. And I think that that's something that draws people in. Some people, I think, look at people like me and other people of the Geeks and Gamers theme or a Phantom Menace, and they think that we're all just completely negative all the time and that there's no goodness in our hearts, there's no love in our hearts, and that's just so far from the truth. And I feel like that really comes out the most during live streams because the discussions can really just take over, take a life of their own, really. And they can shift from movies to real life situations in many cases too. And to me, I think that that's the reason why the people that watch the streams are so defensive when people start to attack individual persons, because they know us better than anyone else could ever possibly. We spend hours of our life. I've spent days of my life at this point with all the live streams that I've done, because I've done at least 2 live streams every week for the past year. And in some cases, in the very beginning, I was doing live streams almost every day or almost every other day. During the summer, I was doing a lot of live streams too. So there's some people that have literally spent days of our lives together. I know that Tina and Steph are well over the 100-hour range at this point. And so when you think about that, you think about just how well you know each other from conversations, right? I tell this to my students all the time. Talking specifically about prayer, because I'm a religion teacher. But I say, when you talk to your friends, or if it's a long time you don't talk to your friends, what do you think that friendship's going to do? You think it's going to be a strong friendship? And they say, probably not. It's like, yeah, because how do we improve our friendships? That's right, by conversation. And because live streams have become so much more conversational, especially with the dawn of new technologies and all these other things, I don't know. It's fun to think about. It really is. Hunka Chunka Funka Monkey, thank you very much for the $1 donation through Streamlabs, man. Thank you for using the Streamlabs link. He says, "Hail Allfather, let's see who gets to 100K first. The challenge is on, Hunka Chunky." I love you, good sir. I'm glad that you finally started a channel, man. And I'm glad that it's still early where you are, but we're losing an hour here tonight. So does that mean that we'll be back to the same? I'm not sure. Probably. I can't really do the math very well in my head, so. But you all know this already. All right, back to the YouTube chat. Alice McCarthy says, "Howdy, Odin. How's it going? Wife, family over. Popping in to say howdy. I hope Dark Fate fails, and I hate saying that because you know my love of all things Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, Alex McCarthy is an 80s bro. Loves him some Stallone and Schwarzenegger, and even he's like, yeah, I can't be supportive of this movie. And I feel like a lot of fans are that way. You all know I'm a huge Terminator fan. I love T1. I love T2. T2 is probably my favorite because I'm more of an action fan than T1. To me is more of a horror story in a lot of ways. But T2, the action is just so timeless, and the ending is so timeless, and everything about the film is so good, except for the 4K release. Let's not talk about that. For those that have never bought the 4K release, luckily I have not, because I've seen so many people review it. It's got this weird color tinge to it that is not good. It's not a good transfer. So stay away from the 4K of T2. T2 is great, but there are older versions of the film that actually have better transfers, interestingly enough. But that's besides the point. I love those movies, though, and I mentioned this before, that one of my favorite rides, and it's not even a roller coaster or anything, it's more of an experience, is the Terminator live action that used to be, I want to say, at Universal. And it was always a great experience with the live actors and then them going into the screen and becoming a part of the movie. It was just fun for me. I always loved it, and I would always drag my family saying, no, we've got to do this. I know that it's the same every time. I know that there's different actors that might change the way they say certain phrases or certain words, but I loved it. I really did. And so it's so sad to see the franchise go in the direction that it has been ever since T2 really. T3 was bearable, but barely. There's just so many bad things in that film. Salvation had a lot of problems with it, narratively speaking. And then, of course, Genesis sucked. And it's sad that this film seems to be on at least the same level and same par as Genesis. It really is sad because the franchise could have been so much more. And I agree with a lot of people who say it should have just been the first two films and that's it. Just keep it as a duology. And I'm fine with that. I think it'd be cooler to say the same universe, to use the same universe with different characters, tell a different story, do like Salvation, go to the time of Judgment Day and say, hey, let's focus on different characters in that same frame, right? That's one of the things that I like about the thing that they're doing right now with Cloverfield, right? They're having films set in the same universe, but totally different types of films. 10 Cloverfield Lane was a great example, right? It was a great drama film, so suspenseful, well acted, great. And then at the very end, they tie it into Cloverfield. And even though some would say, and probably rightfully so, it's kind of forced into it, it works. Like somehow or another, they pulled it off and it still works. I think that would have worked very well for Terminator, is to have the same world, the same universe, but with a different story. Instead of just telling the same story over and over and over again and using the same characters and then retconning and changing, retconning, change, retcon, change. And now, of course, you've got it where, and spoiler warning, but I don't think anyone watching this stream right now really cares about Terminator spoilers at this point, the fact that you kill John Connor in the first 5 minutes of this new movie. And I know that not everyone likes John Connor, but no one can deny that John Connor has not been, or rather, no one can deny that he has been the central point of the Terminator franchise. Yeah, other characters have done more, but it's always been for John Connor. And is there a world where they could have made it work? Sure, absolutely. But it would have had to have been the best story ever told, instead of them just saying, oh no, we're going to tell the same exact story, only now we're just going to shift some parts around and focus on wokeness. It's so sad. It really is, because it's one of my all-time favorite franchises. Patricia, thank you very much for the $20 super chat. She says, nice to be here. Hey, what's your opinion on the audience score for this dumpster fire of a movie that is Dark Fate? Saw you at Nerdrotic channel on Friday. You cracked me up. Well, Patricia, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope I can keep that going here. I tend to do better bouncing off of other people. But yeah, talking about that Rotten Tomatoes score, a lot of people are pointing at saying, hey, look, 86% audience score. That's pretty good. I haven't even looked at it in a long time because I try and go there as few times as possible, because Rotten Tomatoes is just downright awful. But I think it's important for today. So as of now, it's at 86% still, with 589 verified ratings. That to me is the funniest thing. Oh, it's a verified rating. And it's a way for them to supposedly stop review bombing, even though even when films are review bombed, it's happening on both sides, and so it really evens itself out, and so the score you have is actually pretty accurate. All that they've been able to do now through this so-called verified process is control the score. That's all that they've been able to do with it, is control it. And so when you actually break down the numbers, it's been stuck at 589 for the past 2 days. No new reviews have been added to it since then. It's been stuck in the 500s, which means that they're either approving very, very slowly, or they're not approving at all, or they're hiding it. Because if you go to the raw score, which now has 1,600 reviews versus 500, you're at 69%. You're an average rating at 3.5 versus 4.3 for the so-called verified score. And they wonder why we question. They wonder why we doubt. They wonder why we have issues with it. And so, Patricia, I think that it's a complete joke. I think that the audience score is a complete joke, because I've talked to too many people that are both politically minded and non-politically minded people when it comes to this film, and most of them hate it. I've only heard of a couple people. One person who's watching the stream right now, she knows who she is. Only one person has said anything positive about the movie, or at least mostly positive things about the movie. And even then, I think that she still has a lot of issues with it because of just all the stuff surrounding it. But yeah, I think that it's completely outside of reality, and I think that anyone that's pointing to that score is just not being accurate. I think that the fairer score, to me, the one that makes the most sense with what I've been hearing from most people that are actual like hardcore fans, has actually been from, I would say, Metacritic, which, Metacritic is also far from perfect, but I honestly think that it's been the most accurate so far, because for this one, I was talking about this last night on Nerdrotic's channel is that the critical score for it is 54 out of 100, where the audience score is a 3.8 now out of 10, with 85 negative ratings, 24 mixed, and 45 positive. To me, that's about the split that I've been noticing among people that I've been talking to. So I will go by people that I talk to. I can only imagine. So you all know I have got issues with CinemaScore, because CinemaScore, here's the thing. All they release is the grade. All that CinemaScore releases is the grade. They do not at any point tell you how many people answered their survey, where the survey was answered, at least in what city the survey was answered in, or the demographic breakdown of the scores. Because keep this in mind, that means that if I'm a so-called CinemaScore verified, person, I can go up to whoever I want and say, "Oh, I think you would score it a certain way. Here you go. Go ahead and bring it to me after the movie." So it almost guarantees that a certain type of person is going to score the film. It's not a very good indicator of what audiences think, because as of now, it's got a B+ CinemaScore. That's right. I'm very sorry about hitting the microphone. It's got a B+ CinemaScore. Wow. I will say, happy to hear this. Apparently, Harriet, the new movie about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, got an A+ CinemaScore. So it's one of those things where sometimes it seems pretty accurate, and other times you're like, wait a minute, a B+? Most audiences are liking this movie? I don't know about that. I've got some doubts. I got some doubts about that, for sure. Over on DLive, Mr. Peabody says, they took Arnold's line and changed it to, "I won't be back." Did they really? Oh my goodness, Peabody. Did he really say, "I won't be back"? That's cringe. He also says, Dark Fate, the way they worked around plot holes was the line, "I don't want to talk about it." So they mentioned something that doesn't make sense in the story, and then instead of them addressing it or explaining it, they just say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Let's not mention that. Let's not delve into that. We'll still make the story complex as hell, but we're not going to even try to explain it." Okay, I gotcha. Also, Captain Mr. Roy, thank you for resubbing for 3 months. Captain Mr. Roy, DLive, resub for 3 months. Thank you. He's on a 3-month streak right now. I think Larry, who is he in his chat today? I don't think he's in the chat over on DLive right now, but I know that he just recently, Larry is actually on YouTube. Larry, I think, hit also a month anniversary subscription over on DLive. So thank you very much, Captain Mr. Roy. I appreciate it. All right, back over to the YouTube chat. Hunga Chunga says, you know what you wouldn't get a copyright strike for? Playing my rant about Jeremy on stream. Wait, what? What? Hunka Chunky, what rant about Jeremy? Micah Martinez says, ever since 2016, I've been going to the movies at the end of daylight savings, so hopefully I get some time to go to the theater tomorrow. Awesome, Micah Martinez. Well, I hope that continues. Andre Santana, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Welcome. Sauce Neon says, Joker outperforming Maleficent 2 and Woke Fate justice. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure that for this weekend, Joker will not get that #1 spot. So as of Friday, the Friday numbers came in. Terminator 1 with 10.6 million. That's not very good for a Friday for a brand new movie and a Terminator film at that. Harriet came in at #2 at 4 million. Joker was right behind Harriet at 3.8 million. Now, it is worth noting, Harriet only came out at 2,000 theaters versus the 3,500 theaters for Joker, but also that Joker's been out for 30 days, where Harriet and Terminator Dark Fate just came out. But all we can say is this, Terminator Dark Fate is going to lose money by the end of its run, easily. And Joker is going to get into the 900 millions. It's already at 863 for the weekend. Joker is at $863 million. Once all of the foreign totals come in for the weekend tomorrow, it's going to be into the $900 million range. And it's going to be glorious. Absolutely glorious. Let's see. Sticky V says, well, the Terminator franchise has come to its logical conclusion. It has successfully terminated itself. Almost can't believe how bad of a script was made into this movie. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been hearing from most people. That's why when I hear, B+ cinema score, or 86% from verified users on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't buy it for a second. It just seems like companies and corporations that are doing everything that they can to try and control the narrative. That's all that they've been doing for the past several years, is controlling the narrative, or at least trying to. That's what's beautiful about the current age of media and the current age of the internet. You can't hide anymore. You can't lie anymore because we can call you out, we can get exposure, and even though you're changing your algorithms and your suggested video feeds and all this stuff to try and shut us up, all you're doing is just making us more emboldened, more impassioned, and all you're doing is allowing other people like Hunky Chunky, for example, to start their own channels, to start their own places of entertainment and news. So thank you very much for creating more of us and actually fighting yourself in the process. Jace Doe says, one of the best series is Batman Beyond. Glad to hear it, Jace Doe. As I said, I think I might have to claim it. Super high, how's it going? Michael Martinez says, I can't wait to go see Dr. Sleep this month. I think it looks very good. I think it does too. That is one I might try and go see opening night on Thursday, because it's one that I have not watched a lot of trailers for, but I've almost done that on purpose, because this is a sequel to a film that I never thought would get a sequel. I know that, books are one thing. I'm not a book person, but when it comes to the movie, I didn't think that we would get one. And I like the overall cast of the film. So I kind of want to just go in completely blind with it. And I've been doing the best that I could so far. So hopefully I can continue, because I would love to see it on Thursday. GMonkey76 says, you made it when Mary Mayhem steals your background. Oh, she stole my background now? Has she stolen my background? I haven't seen my background yet. I know that she stole Gary's, and I know that she's stolen Jeremy's. I didn't see mine yet, but I'm sure it'll be very, very soon. 200 Watt Studio, thank you for the $2 super chat. 200 Watt Studio says, Dark Fate wanted to be Alien 3, but ended up being Alien 4. I got you. Yeah, wasn't Alien 3 the one that was... It had a lot of potential prior to its release, but then the studio got involved and just screwed up everything. And yet somehow, isn't that the one that David Fincher did? And somehow it still is a pretty interesting take, like an interesting direction that some people actually still love because of the potential, not because of what you got, but because of the potential of what you could have gotten. And then of course 4 is Aliens 4. But let me know, because it's been a while since I've seen all of those. Stephanie B, what's going on, Stephanie B? Yes, that is exactly how you do it. That's how you get my attention. Laura says, the first rule of Odin's Secret Club is we don't talk about it. Exactly. Even though I mention it every stream. Grandmaster Yoda says, get woke, go broke. Dark flop better scare studios from keep going woke, but Charlie's Angels may pass the flop. It did not cost to make much, only $48 million. That's true, but people still need to go see it. And let's assume that it does well. I can see that film only making $100 million total, and then it barely breaks even. And let's be fair here. Anyone going to see that film are going to be a mostly male audience. Let's just be honest here. And they're going to be going for a specific reason. And that could be the only reason why I would think that film might not lose any money. You might not want to hear it. Might kind of be disgusting. However, at least we could be honest. It's like saying, oh, no, I understand why you had films like 30 Shades of Grey or whatever it's called. 30 Shades of Grey? What? Am I saying that right? 50 Shades of Grey. Oh my goodness, 30 Shades of Grey. Someone's going to turn that into a meme. But anyway, it's just like that film. Like, no one expected that film to not flop, because obviously you're going to have a lot of female audience members that are going to want to go see it. All right, anyway, HyperDex13 says, I will be disappointed if there's no SpongeBob reference in The Lighthouse. Jeremy Adler says, while I know you don't like Disney right now, is there any film from them in the future that you are actually interested in seeing? None at the moment. I can say none at the moment. The Pixar film that's in the works is somewhat interesting to me, but even that one I'm not crazy about. So Disney has nothing right now that I'm even interested in a little bit. Sasha Neon says, so Joker will almost definitely beat Woke Fate next week. I approve. So that's going to be the tough thing, right? So next week, Dr. Sleep's coming out. I think Dr. Sleep will probably take number 1 at the box office. There is a chance. There's a chance that in its 40th day in theaters, that Joker could potentially make more. What I'm more interested in is the weekday totals, because we saw this happen last week with Maleficent. Maleficent did terrible during the week, to the point where Joker was number 1 at the weekday box office for almost every day of Maleficent 2's initial release for its opening week. We might see something similar here. You might see Dark Fate do so poorly and Joker still do at least $1 million a day, And that could be enough to have that be number one during the weekday. For the weekend, though, Dark Fate will definitely get number one at the box office, but it's not going to be very impressive. Zach Gregg says, Joker is art, Disney is garbage. I can agree with you there. Hybrid says, how was Halloween for you? It was fun. It was very chill. The wife and I watched Adam Stanley Values, which is a classic. Venom Broly says, from 1979 to 2018, I boycotted 0 movies. In 2019, I boycotted 3. That year is filled with garbage. Yeah, and we're just going to get more garbage, too. We are just going to get more garbage, too. It's not going to be good. Mr. Peabody over on DLive said, 30 Shades of Grey was the budget version. Yes, exactly. Oh, 30 Shades of Grey. Can't wait to see the YouTube chat on that. But I do need to shout out Captain Larry 2001. Captain Larry, thank you very much for the pumpkin donation and for resubbing for 3 months. Oh my goodness, dude. Thank you so much. He is now a 4-month sub and he just resubbed for 3 months. Thank you so much, Larry. Dude, thank you. You're awesome, man. Thanks for that resub. I appreciate it. Tina says, I stumbled across your channel. Glad I did. I told 70B I can't thank you enough for being so welcoming to me. No problem at all. Yeah, that's right. Tina is one of those persons that just stumbled across the channel, and now she's a Valkyrie. And she's in the process of making her own channel, I hope. Damajanai says, how the heck are you? I'm doing fine, Damajanai. How the heck are you, good sir? Hope everything is going well with you. Aiden Vickery says, have you ever considered teaching a movie-related subject as a job, imparting your passion onto the next generation? I have. I've actually had a couple of students ask, oh, could you please teach a film course? But I just don't feel like I have the qualifications for it, academically speaking. I have my minor, of course, or rather, sorry, I have my major in communications in film criticism specifically as my concentration. But you need to have, in order to teach theology or religion like I do, all you need is, I have a master's degree in that, so I can therefore teach it. I don't have to get a teaching certificate in order to teach the subject. If I wanted to teach anything else, I would need to get a teaching certificate, and it's a pain in the butt. I've already taken one of the tests once, and because I didn't take a class on so-called academic, philosophy or whatever, I missed it by a point. Like I failed it by a point. But it's because it's filled with just a bunch of technical jargon that is stupid and really bears no merit in the actual classroom itself. So yeah, if I ever do, it'll be some years down the road. I'm quite happy teaching what I'm teaching now. And also, plus, trust me, in my class, I make several movie references every week. So it's almost like they're getting one anyway. All right, chat jumped on me. Very sorry about that. It's 7:18 in the chat, 7:32 where I am. So I'm, again, still in that 20 minutes or so behind in the end. Captain Larry is Larry. I thought there was that connection. Thanks for confirming it, Larry 2001. Larry, thank you so much. Laura says, T2 came out so long ago, maybe the positive reviews are from people who didn't see the first movies. That could be it, Laura. You could definitely have a situation where that's possible, but based on what I'm hearing, I don't see anything that is generally exciting to the point where people would give it high reviews. Zach Gregg says, I give it a Billy Madison rating that we are all dumber from hearing or seeing, and may God have mercy on your soul. That is a great rating to give. Let's see. Zacharot 315 says, hello, Zacharot. Great name. Tina says, meanwhile, Mahler is doing an EFAP regarding YouTuber Jenny Nicholson's dislike of Joker. Some of her comments are interesting. Oh boy. Something tells me that she had a very political reason to not like Joker and that it's stupid. And if anyone can totally destroy that argument, it would be Mahler. 200 Watt Studio, thank you for another $2 super chat, says 30 Shades of Grey is the edited for TV version. Yes, exactly. Oh, 30 Shades of Grey. Slash Neon says, I know Comics Matter channel Zach said Dark Fate was the funniest movie of the year. Yeah, something tells me that he means that in a very sarcastic way, and I could totally see that being the case. Nemesis says, what it do, homeboy? Nemesis 08, what's going on, man? I feel like you're never around anymore, and I miss you. I remember back in the good old days when we were a small channel. A much smaller channel than we are now, and you used to be here all the time, and then you abandoned me. It upsets me, Nemesis. Laura says, any chance you and Josiah could do a Lighthouse vid or stream? I would be down for that. So I might have to contact Josiah, though with my memory, I'll probably forget. So if anyone else wants to contact him to contact me, I would definitely be down for it. If I'm able to see it tomorrow, I would love to jump on a stream with him to talk about it. Cabin Wingster says, I saw your video today, and Dark Fate bombing is only a good thing. Also, I didn't know your name was Odin, and you have a movie blog. Good for you, man. Thank you, Captain Wingster. Yes. My channel name is Odin's Movie Blog. I do have a movie blog. I do, though I don't see too many movies. So, do I really have a movie blog then at that point? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves. Questions indeed. Grandmaster Yoda says the Quartering tried make a video on Batwoman on Rotten Tomatoes, but he found out they have locked the option to give it a review at all. So how rotten the site is? Oh yeah, absolutely. So there are some items or some properties that they will vet reviews. So if you were to give the film a bad review and there was something in there they don't like, they don't have to post your review. That's how sketchy their site is now. Gone is free speech from that site. Like, seriously, we could, if we thought a movie, or if there was proof that a movie was being destroyed for political reasons, we would be able to figure that out for ourselves and know, okay, we don't have to take this any seriously, right? But instead, all they're doing is saying, no, this is what we think is going on, and we're just going to assume that it's going on, and we're just going to, force it down everyone's throats anyway. China Man says, I think if cinema score is just for popcorn and blockbuster movies, a lot of bad movie blockbusters have a B+. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's true. I really do think that there's a lot of truth to that too. But at the same time, as I said, I really want them to show their methodology. Because all they say is, we give a random group of people these little sheets of paper, and then they fold the grades that they want to give. So there's no writing involved with it. It's literally they tear the tab or they fold the tab, which means that it can be, that's the problem, it can be manipulated. It means that they can just assume, they can change the scores. The people running it with their little iPads, they can just go, I'm just going to refold this. There's no accountability. So it's a very hard system for me to believe in. At the very least, they should say, all right, 20,000 people responded in these major cities. And then I can say, you only went to LA and New York. No wonder why people are more positive about the movie. But they don't even do that because they know as soon as they reveal anything about their demographics, it's going to make their entire system illegitimate, even though it already is. And yet some people continue to give them legitimacy. Sierra Production says that Harriet Tubman movie looks weird. It's a Harriet Tubman movie, not a comic book superhero movie. Yeah, but I think the argument that could be made is that she is a, I guess you could say, historical hero. In a lot of ways, she was a major part of the Underground Railroad, and I think it's trying to, basically tell that story from that angle. I'm actually excited to see it, to be honest, because I like the actress that's playing Harriet Tubman. She was excellent in my favorite film of last year, Bad Times at the El Royale, and so I have a lot of confidence in it. And also the trailers I thought were very riveting. So yeah. Now, is there a chance that there could be politics involved? Sure. Most movies these days have it. But I haven't seen it in the trailers, at least at this point. Mark Lazur says, you missed the guy who did multiple super chats last night who was insulting Jeremy and Gary, said, hey, I will do it for free. Boom, Mark Lazur. Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely was glad to have, I was there for part of it because I remember reading one of his comments out as well. Man, that dude was hilarious. That dude was great. Hunka Chunka says, I made a rant video about Jeremy for fun. I don't know if he's seen it yet, though. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I figured that it was for fun. I didn't think you had any issues with him. But I know that you were trying to get in on that Jeremy hate stream, which I cannot wait for the next edition of because it's so funny that people will talk trash about him and will call him out, but then when they're invited to actually speak to him face-to-face on like even just on the internet, like on camera, they flake out. They're too scared. And I think the reason why is because they know they will not be able to go toe-to-toe with him. If they can stay behind their keyboard and be anonymous, that's their strength, that's their power. But when it comes to actually having a back-and-forth conversation, they've got nothing. And as I've said before, Mad Max, dude, jump back on, man. I want to see it. You are trying to convince your followers that you won that argument, but you didn't. Go ahead. Prove them. Prove yourself right, man. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Double dog dared you. Yeah, that means that you have to. Sasha says, could people be giving good scores out of pity? It is so pathetic, I feel a bit sorry for it. Yeah, I feel sorry for it too. I think that the scores are really coming from the fact that there are people that are going to give it a good score because they're seeing the negative backlash to it and they just want to give it a positive score for no reason. It could also be that there are certain elements of the film too that general audiences are going to be drawn to. There is definitely a case for that. There's definitely a case that there could be just the normie audience saying, hey, I like the explosions. It's happened before. It has happened before. And Larry, congratulations on your 3-month streak, by the way. Congratulations. Laura, Ryan stole my fanfiction story. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Says the El Royale actress was in Color Purple Play. I did not know that. Interesting. Fun fact. China Man says, I just rewatched Sunset Boulevard a couple days ago. Norma Desmond, played by Gloria Swanson, I think is one of my all-time favorite performances and characters. It's iconic. It really is. The ending of that film is, I'm ready, Mr. DeVille, I'm ready for my close-up. And she's just coming towards the camera. It's so creepy, but so damn good. Aiden Vickery says, yes, Alien 3 was David. That's what I thought. Venom Broly says, Mary did steal Gary's background so well that I thought she was in his home. Yeah, I did too. When she first had Jeremy's, I thought, wait, why is she filming at Jeremy's house? I know that she's a part of Geeks and Gamers, but I didn't think they lived next to each other. And then I realized, oh, it's green screen. Now I get it. Bruce is in the chat. Bruce says, sorry, I am late. The wife wanted to do the first of the month shopping. She just doesn't understand how important Odin's movie blog is. So the wife won. No, the wife should always win. As the common saying goes, happy wife, happy life. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. Lorenzo Who says, don't forget to watch the Batman Beyond movie afterwards. Oh, there's a movie, huh? Tina says, I'm sorry, but those women don't look anywhere near as good as Farrah Fawcett, Majors, or Kate Jackson, or Jacqueline Smith. This is from a straight woman. Boom. Calling it out. Calling it like she sees it. Orange Hat Review says, sorry I'm late. Did you do your review for Dark Fate? Are we talking spoilers? Congrats on 19K. Thank you very much. I have not seen it, because I'm still dreading the time of my life that I won't be able to get back from everything I have been hearing about it. But yeah, no, we are spoiler-filled for that film. I cannot save you from spoilers of that movie, because in all honesty, who really cares about spoilers for that movie? Because the biggest spoiler of the film has already been revealed on social media constantly, because so many people just don't care. You want to know why people aren't seeing the movie? Because they heard that spoiler and said, that sounds dumb. So I'm just not going to go see it. And that's the fact that John Connor gets killed in the first 5 minutes, which is stupid. If you want to have a really good hot take on it, I recommend Jeremy Johns. So for anyone out there that doesn't think that's big of a problem, I think you should watch Jeremy Johns' review, his spoiler-filled review, because he just lays it out. He lays out the argument so much better than I ever could. John Madden, John Madden's in the chat, says, well, there's been a disappointing year overall for movies. But Dark Fate, who was out for another Terminator reboot? I can't imagine Cameron's heart is even in it now. Thank you very much, John Madden. I appreciate that analysis there. But yeah, I agree. I think that Cameron isn't in it at all. Cameron's name was attached as a producer. I think that in the article I read today, he's getting like an 8% cut of the film. So the dude is getting money. So even if the film flops at $300 million, Cameron's seeing him almost about 8% of that box office. So he's making money. He's making those gains, and that's all he cares about. If he honestly cared about the IP, he would be writing and directing, but he doesn't. He just wants the passive income. He just wants the royalties that he will get from it, and that's it. And so what happens? The movies are made by stupid idiots. That's right, I said stupid idiots, and they're terrible. Calvin Winkster says, Odin, I got the Batman Beyond series Wednesday and have already finished it. While still fun, the original Batman series is supreme, and that's what I've always thought, but I've heard that it's at least worth a watch, and I would like to at least give it a watch at some point in my life, and so I might just do that with Jay's Doses code. All right. Super Anime Gamer says, calling it now, Charlie's Angels, The Good Liar, and Ford v. Ferrari are being released the same day, and will Marriage Story be in theaters too? I don't know about Marriage Story. However, The Good Liar, Ford v. Ferrari, those are going to be, here's the reason why Charlie's Angels could still survive. Those two movies, The Good Liar, that's featuring Ian McKellen, so that's going to be for an older audience, an older demographic for the most part. Ford v. Ferrari also is going to be, I think, dealing with a little bit of an older audience too. Charlie's Angels is going to deal with a younger audience, because I'm pretty sure that film's going to be PG-13. So the film could still make some money. However, if they continue to talk about politics, if the movie is shown in the early reviews to be focused solely on that, that could be enough to even scare away the younger audience members as well. We'll have to wait and see. Saucy Neon says, 50 Shades of Red Communist China approved cut. Which leaves about 30 shades overall, that's for sure. Tina says, he played a clip of her talking about her not liking Joaquin dancing, and then she said something about it reminded her of Fantastic Beast. Mahler said, what the hell is she talking about? Yeah, seriously. She's going to compare it to Fantastic Beast and where to find them? How does that make any sense? That's a really bad argument on her part, and I'm sure Mahler is destroying her on that. Nemesis08 says, that shout-out made me want to sing somewhere out there. I'm always around, buddy, even if I can't be here for all the fun chats. Well, Nemesis08, you should be here. Slicer says, I feel we should officially nickname Josiah Mr. Excommunicado. Yes, absolutely, because he has been. Yeah, the Excommunicado has never been lifted on Josiah Rises. This is a true statement. Can I stream with someone that is Excommunicado? I don't know. Orange Hat Review says, Terminator fans wanted the future war where John sends Kyle back, not some movie where they push a PC narrative. Exactly right. As I said, Salvation was one of the coolest movies because it actually took the story in a different direction. They could have had a story set during that same time in history, and they could have explained it however they wanted to. They could say, hey, by the way, this still happens, this is still canon, but let's talk about this specific story instead. Instead, what they did was say, oh, remember all the past? Remember all the stuff that you loved? Patui, I spit on you. That's what they did. They said, oh, you're a fan of Star Wars? Patui. Or sorry, you're a fan of Terminator? Patui. I spit on you. Get out of here. Move away. That's what they did. They shooed the fan base away. And guess what? The fan base said, okay, fine, okay, I'm gone. Mr. Peabody over on DLive says, they could do a crossover movie and call it Terminating Charlie's Angels. Yes, that sounds like a movie I would want to see. Dion says, I just noticed that you are at 19K. Congrats, I'm holding at 261. Glad to see one of us is doing awesome. Cheers to you, sir, Dion. Thank you, Dion. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Sierra Production says, but Harriet, last time I checked, wasn't trained to use guns. Yeah, that's the thing, though, is that I don't think that we've ever gone too much into the history of that character. All we know is what she did for the Underground Railroad. We don't really know a lot of the details about it. So what I'm more interested in is seeing the film and then looking into the historical reality and wondering how much of it is dramatized and how much of it is actually based in some sense of reality. Let's see. John Madden continues, says, 2019 has been a garbage year for movies in general. But who was asking for another Terminator reboot after how bad Genesis was? Also, can't wait to see what Trash Fire Charlie's Angels is. Well, thank you very much, John Madden, for that wonderful analysis. But yeah, I continue to agree with you, good sir. Zero says, surprisingly, Jenny's video on the Joker is pretty bland. She just doesn't like it and isn't giving great reasons. Surprisingly, she's not too political in her own vids. I usually think that she's okay. Yeah, I don't really know much about her to say anything about it, but yeah, if you're gonna trash a movie, you should at least be somewhat constructive, or meaning you should at least have a good argument for it. Or at the very least say, hey, subjectively I didn't like it, but objectively it's a great film. You know? I feel like she's trying to argue that it's a bad movie objectively, and that's not really, that's factually inaccurate. Objectively, it is a good movie, and whether you subjectively enjoy it or not is up to the individual person. Kathleen Wingster says, Odin is it cool to hate on Jeremy now? Because I'm ready. Do it, man. It's always cool. Kathleen Wingster says, Joker 3 out of 10, not enough explosions. Yep, that is the regular modern day normie audience. Not enough explosions. There are some people that didn't like it, and the number one complaint is it's too boring. And I think to myself, oh, you millennial, or oh, you child. I'm sorry that you only need, the only thing that can keep you interested in a movie are cheap, terrible explosions. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. The Jeepers Turtle says, I see your winter beard is filling out. Digital movie code's coming. Jeepers Turtle, thank you, man. And yeah, it's going to get a little bit of a trim in a couple days, maybe. I know that I need a haircut. Freya has been asking for a haircut, and what Freya asks for, she gets. So the beard will stay, but it'll definitely be a little bit neater is the better word for it. China Man says, yes, watch Batman Beyond movie. It's really good. Sounds good. Alrighty, let's see. We got holy crap. We've got 178 people watching right now. Thank you for being here. so much. We're getting up there. We're getting up there today. So thank you so much for that. If you have not done already, please smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. Glinzer and YouTube says, did you portray Braun Strowman for Halloween? I'm too short to play or even come close to impersonating Braun Strowman. Sammy B says, great impression of Madden, Chief. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. John Madden says the words. I just try and speak it as best I can. Catherine Wingster says, John Connor getting killed early was subverting your expectations and had the themes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for. I don't understand how ever since The Last Jedi, so many filmmakers have been taking the Ryan School, the Ryan Johnson School of Filmmaking class or something, where it's all, let's just subvert your expectations for the sake of subverting expectations and not for any good, legitimate reason. And all it's doing is just pushing people away and pissing people off. You don't have to kill off a character that's been central to the Terminator story since the beginning just because you want to make room for these new people that no one cares about and no one will care about, no matter how hard you try. Sasha Neon says, I heard Cameron only has left his name be attached as favors to friends and dislikes any movie in the franchise after T2. That would not surprise me at all. Also, he makes money. I think it has less to do with friends and more to do with money. Because let's be honest, most people in Hollywood, including people like James Cameron, as creative as he's been in the past, cares a lot about money. Grandmaster Yoda says, why do China go so hard on magic in movies when we all know it doesn't exist? It really comes down to the fact that it's run by a communist government. It's communism. They don't want anything with religion or magic, because to them, magic, I think, would be in the same vein as religion. And so therefore, they don't want to do anything. They don't have anything to do with it. And so that's the reason why they have magic cut out. Or if unless it's Disney, of course, and then, if you just tweak a couple of things, yeah, you could still keep magic and Doctor Strange, no problem. Because it's Disney, of course. Aiden Vickery says, to help with any confusion, Ford v Ferrari is called Le Mans 66 in the UK and some other countries. Well, thank you very much for that clarification, Aiden Vickery, because I know that there are some movies that do have different titles. So that's definitely very important. Nicolito says, I loves me some John Madden. I bet you do. Zach Gregg says, and wouldn't killing John change the timeline? That's a great point. If you kill John, it does change the timeline, and I'm sure they'll address that in the movie in some convoluted way. But yeah, it raises so many more questions, not to mention the biggest problem with the film is this. So this is someone that has not seen it but has heard plenty of spoilers about it. So he's killed by the Terminator played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that Terminator destroyed himself, and it was already established that by destroying himself, that's what stops Judgment Day from happening, or at least delays it for a while. So how can the same looking Terminator come back? And here's the other problem too, is that it's an actual Terminator that's job and mission is to kill John Connor. All of a sudden, this Terminator now apparently becomes domesticated and starts to feel guilt all on its own, even though it's already established early on in the first film in T2 that two things need to happen in order for that to be possible. Either one, the Resistance needs to actually get this Terminator, play around with its chip so that it is protecting, so that it is focused on protecting life, etc., for one. And then two, that there is something that needs to be done to the chip to have emotions be brought about as well. So apparently all of that canon has just been thrown out the window, apparently, which doesn't make any damn sense. So if someone can explain that to me in the chat who has seen the movie, please let me know. But as someone that's a fan of the franchise and looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. Even me not having seen the movie, but hearing the basic plots, it doesn't make sense. And I highly doubt that they go into so much detail to explain how it works. Someone in the chat said, oh yeah, the way they address it is by saying, oh, I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, well, you kind of have to, because if you're changing the entire timeline and you're not going to explain how, that's a major problem. That's a narrative flaw, a narrative fallacy, and I will not stand for it. Alice McCarthy says, facts, wife always wins, especially with movies, and I'm losing a battle with her and Disney+. Oh, that's the one you need to fight, man. Because there's going to be nothing that she's going to have access to or want to have access to in Disney+ that you can't get elsewhere. Larry says, speaking of stairs, watch The Music Box with Laurel and Hardy. I've never seen it before. Blake Henlow says, I have some good news. My animated series is almost ready for production. Nice. Good job, man. China Man says, Nolan, a director that I think is great. I also think that at the end of his career, if he keeps this level of making films, he will be, no doubt, one of the greatest directors. He already is, man. China Man, I think Nolan's already up there for being one of the greatest directors because he's already made so many great films. There really aren't a whole lot of films that many of us could say are really bad. Even his worst films, for me, in my opinion, out of the ones that I have seen, I would say Dark Knight Rises is his worst. But even that film, as much as I don't like certain aspects to it, is still very well made. So you know you have a really great, all-time great director when even their worst movie is still better than most crap that happens in the movie theaters nowadays, you know? I think that it's important for us to talk about. All right. Chat jumped on me. Let us see where we are. Darth Morrill says, man, this year could not get worse for Paramount. Gemini Man losing $75 million and Dark Fate looking to lose another $80 million. Paramount has had a catastrophic financial year. Dude, I'm going to tell you this right now. Both of those movies, in all likelihood, are losing more than that. I say minimum for both loss, $100 million. Now, I'll have to wait for the final box office numbers to do the full breakdown, because I will be doing biggest box office flops of the year sometime in 2020 in the early parts of the year, because that's just what I like to do. But yeah, those are going to be on my list for sure, and it's definitely going to be over. I would say it's going to be at least $100 million for both, as far as a loss goes. Venom Broly 93 says, Dark Fate doesn't matter. Destroyed Skynet, another AI appears. You kill the mankind savior, another appears. That new savior woman can be killed. Such Legion, another robot war will appear. Yeah, it just seems to me that they went way too much out of their way to have the same exact story play out with different characters. And that's not what any of us want for that movie. All we want are really good action pieces and iconic lines. And I feel that if you can't handle it and you can't do it, then don't. Don't waste our time with crappy films. Alice McCarthy says, Batman Beyond is on DC Universe app, and you'll need it to watch a Justice League cartoon episodes for this special conclusion. All right, that didn't make any sense to me, Alex, but I'm assuming that all of this will be on HBO Max in 2020, so Justice League I'll probably have to watch then. Sasha Neon says, my family had a book about Harriet I read as a kid. One scene had her pull a pistol on an escaping slave who wanted to return to the plantation. Pretty hardcore. Well, there you go. So there's one person right there that in a history book, or at least a book based in history, had that happen with the character. So it seems that it's a pretty consistent person. Nathan Slay says, Joker has got to be in the list of most profitable films of all time. It's definitely going to be in that discussion since it only costs $55 million and it's almost at the $900 million mark. For sure. Percentage-wise, it's a huge return on investment. And I'll definitely have to break down the numbers on that once we get a final number for sure. Nicolito says, please Leonidas that beard, sir. Alice Martinez says, hello there. Darth Morrill says, you're right. I mean, Paramount has lost over 200 to 300 million this year. Before long, they will be up for sale. And it's sad, too, because I saw you tag Tina in that as well. What Tina is scared about, and I think that's a legitimate concern, is that Paramount's failure is going to lead to Disney buying it up. And if Disney buys Paramount, good Lord, that the amount of properties under Paramount that will be added to Disney is going to be insane. And I think that there's a good chance with these films not making money. Now, I still think the films that have lost money have deserved to lose money, like Dark Fate's going to. But yeah, it is still sad because I also really don't want Disney buying up this company either. And then Tina says, she told me the other day that her fear was Paramount continually losing money is putting it up for sale. Yeah. And it's a legacy studio, very similar to how we had the HBO Max announcement recently with all of the awesome Warner Brothers content. Thing about Paramount, and I'm sure Tina could list several properties that are owned by Paramount that would then be in Disney's hands, but it's something that we should be scared of for sure. Aiden Vickery says, is the 30 Shades of Grey the edit for subverts? Rhaegar Targaryen says, canon is overrated. Hollywood right now. Yeah, Hollyweird indeed. Hollyweird right now indeed. All right, let's see. Where are we in the chat? All right, let me jump over to D Live really quickly. Mr. Peabody says the Terminator that killed John is the Model 101, so John was killed by a level 1 university course. Oh, that's awesome. Charzy123 saying that's already past 900 million. Well, the reason why I say I haven't said that yet is because those are coming from general reports where people are doing the math on their own saying, okay, when the numbers officially come in, it'll be at this number. So I'm not saying that yet because I know that it already has theoretically, but not on paper yet. So until my websites update, like thenumbers.com, for example, I'm saying that it's going to be past 900 million. We don't know how far past it will be yet. That's the point. That's the point. And Peabody, thanks for letting him know. Yeah, in the future, if you have a comment or question over on D Live, just put @Odin at anywhere in the comment, and I'd appreciate it. If you're over on YouTube, just put Odin question all one word. We got 244 people watching. Holy crap. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please smash that like button. It helps me out a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Slasha Neon says, the time paradox was always crazy. By killing a target from the past, they removed the reason to go back in time in the first place. Chronal paradoxes, love them, hate them. Yeah, and here's the one thing we can say is that even though you have some of these paradoxes in the original movies, because they're so well made and so well acted, and the rest of the story is so well put together, you're willing to forgive it. The reason why it doesn't work for a film like Dark Fate or other films like it is because they're not well made. They're not good films. They don't have the same writing aspects or the same story strengths that the other films have. And so it means that those flaws are going to be that much more obvious, but also so that much more problematic as well. So yeah, I hear what you're saying there. Jay Stowe says, that is exactly why I consider the first film through Salvation are the main timeline and the last two are a separate timeline. I mean, it changed with Genesis. You're right, it did. And one of the many reasons why Genesis was definitely, was a giant letdown for huge fans. And I think Genesis is one of the many reasons why this film's not doing well is because so many people still have the bad taste of that movie in their mouth. They're looking at the trailers for this film and they're saying, this looks like the same problems. This looks like the same movie that we got, and it's just, we're throwing Terminator on there and we expect you to go see it. And fans are now saying, no, you left us behind a long time ago. Screw you. And then as soon as they found out, John Connor gets killed in the first 5 minutes and just, no more John Connor in this universe at all. Oh, that's stupid. Screw you, patooey. You spit on us, I spit on you, patooey. That's what I have to say to you. Charzy over on D Live says, I think it will end this weekend with 930 to 935. Definitely at least 915. I would say minimum 915 million by the end of this weekend, officially. Captain Larry says, Odin and give me 3 pumpkins. Thank you very much, Captain Larry. I appreciate you, bruv. Orange Hat Reviews says, they sent another T-800 back. Model 101 looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They try explaining it, but the explanation for the movie plot was poorly done. I'm not surprised there. Based on everything we're hearing about this movie, I'm not surprised that they did not explain a major plot point well. Hybrid says, Dark Knight Rises was the only average film from him. Everything else is 7 and above out of 10. Nolan is great. He keeps up with Tenet. I hope he keeps up with Tenet too. Tenet looks like it'd be pretty good. It definitely looks pretty good. That being said, Dark Knight Rises is definitely not a great film. I wouldn't even say that it's a decent film, because in comparison to the rest of his work, because that's what I have to compare it to the rest of his work. And for me, it's a film there are not many Nolan films that I would never want that I would never want to watch again. That's a movie I have no need to watch again. And to me, I think that speaks volumes. Glenzer says, Disney Plus, I'll subtract the L from that. Yeah. Yep. Captain Wingster says, I also rewatched T1 and T2 yesterday. They're so good. Yes, they are. China Man says, yes, Nolan is my favorite director with Wells. I just love his touch. His storytelling is magnificent. I mean, he did a film in reverse Memento. That's genius. It is. And it worked. I think that if anyone else had been told, hey, here's my story, they would have said, nope, it's not going to work. Nolan said, let's do this. And he did it. Hannah 3000 says, the point of T1 and T2 is to kill John Connor so that Skynet would win. Then why is Skynet dead when John Connor was killed by their own machine? Yep, paradoxes. Alice McCarthy says, "Oh, I'm not paying for Disney Plus. We are Verizon. I just don't want it." And she basically is a Disney princess. Aww. Eric Walker says, "Is there any consistently better writer-director than the Nolan Bros?" Consistently, they're definitely up there for sure. For writing, yeah, I would put Tarantino up there. Some people don't like some of his movies. I do. I think that even if there's a film of his that I'm not a huge fan of, Django Unchained is one film that I'm not a huge fan of. The writing for it's still impeccable. I mean, I can never go after that dude's writing. So I would say the best consistent writer is definitely Tarantino, in my opinion. China Man says, "Just read now, Joker has officially passed the 900 million. Can it cross the 1 billion in your opinion?" So basically the reason why I'm not covering that is because I'm waiting for the actual numbers, the official estimates, and then of course the actuals Monday and Tuesday that we'll get. And then I'll have a better idea. If it's close to the 920, $930 million range this weekend, yes. In 2 weeks, it'll pass $1 billion because it's still making a lot of money. If it's less than that, if it's like 910-ish, it's going to be harder to do, but it's still theoretically possible. So it really is going to depend on how far past $900 million it actually made this weekend. But I would say it's definitely possible. It's more possible than it ever has been in the history of its box office run. That's for sure. You can at least take that to the bank. Rhaegar Targaryen says, "I don't trust HBO after Game of Thrones, and I don't like the agenda in most of their programming. Probably going to pass on HBO Max." I think that's fair. I honestly think that the reason why the last season of Game of Thrones sucks so much is because of Benioff and Weiss, and not necessarily because of HBO, just for the record. But with that being said, they are still the ones that greenlit it, that oversaw it, and allowed it to go forward without wanting to change it or forcing their hand. And I think that's definitely problematic on their end. But HBO has also done some good stuff too. They also did the other great seasons of Game of Thrones. And I think that the other Game of Thrones prequel that we're getting with George R.R. Martin actually writing the episodes, that one has potential, right? I'll be cautiously optimistic. Alice Martinez says, "What bro do you have a problem with the Ferminator? Not woke enough for you? How about the Whaminator? Or is it the Maminator?" Oh man. See, there's two Whaminators, and I think that they were both better individually than the nonsense we're getting nowadays. And one is from the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV show, which I've heard great things about. I've only seen the pilot episode, and I liked the pilot episode a lot. And you have a female Terminator in that film, or rather in that series. And then I actually don't hate the Terminator from T3. She's not great, but she's also not terrible either. So, Hybrid says, "I'm happy to see Joker doing well. I pray nothing bad happens ahead. The media doesn't keep blaming the movie." Yep, I hope it continues to do well. Nathan Slay, "Christopher Nolan did a great job with Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. I think those movies might be better than any MCU flick." Yeah, I think that you're definitely onto something there. Dark Knight to me is a masterpiece, and Batman Begins is one of the most underrated films of his canon. It's such a great origin story. China Man says, "Disney buying Paramount is very downhill of Hollywood. Just buying Fox, they already canceled 101 films in development. If they buy Paramount, that will be bad news for cinephiles." Yeah, you're right. Not to mention that out of all of the films they've canceled for Fox, they're also now putting several Fox franchises in the vault. They're going to try and create this artificial demand that they have been doing for years, where they say, you can only get this movie on Blu-ray now. And then when it goes away, all the prices are going to skyrocket for the sets. And then we'll release it again in like 10 years' time. And it's going to suck because, other studios don't do that. Other studios will, every 5-10 years, re-release the movie. And that's how it should be, right? Because then you can get the old edition for cheaper, and the new edition you can pay about the same amount. And then you're like, I want these new features that are being offered. But Disney, they're like, no, we're going to create this artificial demand, and it's just going to suck for everyone. Sasha Neon says, "The Monopoly hammer would come down hard if Disney bought anything else. If not, then the corruption is confirmed." No, I don't think so. And the reason why is because they would argue saying, no, we're just buying the actual movie studio, and so therefore it's fine. If they were buying, if the one thing that would not be allowed would be if they bought or tried to buy AMC or tried to buy Regal. If they tried to buy a movie exhibitor, that would be grounds for them being called for antitrust. And the reason why is because that would mean they would own the production, the means of production, the exhibition as well, and also the distribution rights also in addition to that. So they would be the producer, creator, and exhibitor of the movie. That would be problematic because that is too much centralized power. That's what it used to be like, and until they were broke up. So I think that they would be okay buying Paramount, but it would piss off a lot more people because of what they've done with the Fox properties since they bought it. I think that would be the bigger problem for sure. Let's see. Darth Morrill says, if Disney bought Paramount, they would own 60% of Hollywood, and Fox and Paramount, how long before Warner Brothers Universal 10 years down the line? Good God, Hollywood really is digging its grave. It really is, especially with all these streaming services. I think that's going to end up biting all of them in the ass at the end of the day. And Warner Brothers, luckily, is doing pretty well so far in a lot of the movies that they've done, so I think that'll be fine. And Universal also puts out enough films every year and pretty much makes profit off of most of them. Hasn't really had too many big budget blockbuster failures. So I think that both of those studios will be okay. Plus, Universal has the theme park, which the last time I heard is doing well. Tina says, I heard in a documentary that Comcast came close to buying up Disney back during the dark times of Michael Eisner. What a world we would have had if that had happened. Yeah, well, that would also could potentially create more problems too. So yeah, it's hard to say whether that would be a good thing or a bad thing. We got 285 people in the chat. Wow. That's crazy. That's a huge number. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Please smash the like button if you can. I appreciate it. Charzy over on DLive says, I think it passed 900 million yesterday probably. Add like 10 million to that, 910 plus foreign. That's why I think it'll make 930. But see, that's the reason why it's problematic, though, because it's hard to find out where that 900 million comes into account, how much of the day they're adding to it. That's why no one is reporting that. Like, as far as the actual raw numbers, right? They'll say, oh, it passed $900 million because of this and because of these reports, but no actual box office tracking site's going to have that number at 900 because of the fact that we don't have the actual estimates or actual anything like that. So that's the reason why that's it's not exactly confirmed yet at this point. Peabody says, as I said, plot holes are explained with I don't want to talk about it and I am augmented. Well, that explains everything. Dear Lord, that's stupid. That is awful. Will Gentry says, just for reference, the Dark Knight Terminator Dark Fate didn't get a soft rollout only to pick up screening numbers. It was simply a 4 showing a day level release. Okay, I gotcha. So that's about how much people would want to actually go see it. Will Gentry says, I looked last night and they only had 3 showings for tonight, no more than 40 seats pre-sold. Damn, son. So in the UK, I think that so the number of show times is based on interest instead. Okay, that makes sense. Will. Basically not doing well in the UK. Jeremy Swig says, Odin just got here. We had a missions conference dinner. It was great time. Also, you have a comb over tonight. A comb over? No? I guess it's just the way that my hair's falling tonight, I guess. Grandmaster Yoda says, Disney had no chance to buy the studio. They bleed money on the parks and hotels and have over $500 billion in debt. Yeah, I don't think that they will buy it, but there's always that chance, right? There's always that chance. Blake Henlo says, wonder if the shareholders and investors within Disney aren't happy with their shares in the Disney stocks since they have been losing money, like Star Wars, for example, for a while now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of anger behind the scenes in the stock market, but I think that if you look at their overall numbers, I think that if you look at their current trajectory, I think it's been mostly positive. I could be wrong on that, but because the entire stock market has been overall going up for the year and not just, obviously it's, up and down, up and down, up and down. I could be wrong on that. I don't follow stocks because I just don't care for them. Eric Walker says, Nolan rescued the DCEU and Favreau rescued the MCU. Agree with that take? Can any other directors claim that in recent times? Well, no, because Nolan didn't really rescue it, though. Because since Nolan's time, the DCEU went through a tremendous downhill fall and then went slightly uphill. And Nolan was actually involved with Man of Steel. And we have people can have different opinions on that film, but I overall wasn't a huge fan of it. So I would disagree with that part of it. Favreau rescued the MCU. I don't see how you could say that because Jon Favreau was only involved with really the beginning of the MCU. So he set the stage, he set the bar for it, See, rescued is the wrong term there. Nolan set the stage for the DCEU, I think, and Nolan and Favreau set the stage and set the bar for the MCU, but they didn't rescue it. Those are wrong takes, I think. Hyman says, I feel like anything that had Dark in a title nowadays is bound to have bad luck. Dark Universe, Dark Phoenix, and now Dark Fate. Good Lord. Yeah, but it hasn't always been the case because Dark Knight was great. Chinaman says, the only studio who has the power to stand against Disney's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has been the biggest major studio in Hollywood for a long time, but these last 10 years, Disney took control. Yeah, that's a good point. Warner Brothers definitely has that capacity. That's why I'm, for the most part, supportive of HBO Max, because HBO Max is Warner Brothers. So that's the reason why, if I had to pick a side between that and Disney, I'd probably go with Warner Brothers. And also, the content that they're supposedly offering is tremendous. Captain Dean Heiss over on D-Live is celebrating a 1-month sub streak. Thank you very much, Captain Dean Heiss, for being here, man. I appreciate you. And what'd you miss? You missed a lot of things, Captain Dean Heiss. Too much to recount. We're almost at 300 viewers on YouTube. Almost 300. That's insane. Charzy123 says, at the theater I go to, there are a 735 screening that's almost all empty. About 170 tickets sold. There is 6 showings in this specific theater today. Oh, only 170 tickets sold completely. Yeah, that's pretty bad for 6 showings. Will Gentry says, to sum it up, it's bombing hard considering it's a Terminator movie with James Cameron's name attached. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, and Charlie's talking about, so you're saying, so you're still talking about Joker. Joker's doing well. 170 plus tickets sold. Got it for Joker. Got it. Again, Charzy, I'm not denying that the movie's doing well, because I know it's doing well. Been covering it. But that's not enough to say we can know for sure what the numbers are going to look like tomorrow. So that's the only point I'm trying to make. It's past the $900 million mark. We know this. How far and how much, we don't know that yet. So, Captain Wingster says, we need quality films to even attempt to time travel. Hold on. We need quality films to even attempt time travel right now. Films like Avengers Endgame. Oh, Captain Wingster, patooey. I spit at your recommendation. That movie was terribly written. Paulo Patriot, any new war movies you want to watch? Not really. GMonkey76, Dunkirk is so overrated, no need to watch that again. It is underrated, but it's a great film. It's well made. It's definitely better than The Dark Knight Rises, that's for sure. China Man says, I think The Dark Knight Rises is good, 7.5 out of 10. Minimum for me. I just think people wanted The Dark Knight level of filmmaking. Well, when you do that, you kind of expect the same level of filmmaking. I think that's a fair request to have. If you're going to set the bar, you should at least try and match it as close as possible. No, the reason why I usually give Dark Knight Rises more of a pass is because obviously Nolan had an idea. We just passed 301 viewers, guys. Thank you so much. This is insane. Please smash the like button. Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever had these many people on a stream before during these shows. So thank you so much, especially on a Saturday night. Saturday night's usually the slower night too. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. But no, anyway, getting back to your comment about Dark Knight Rises, I give it a pass usually a little bit more. I usually just give it a slight pass because Nolan had ideas in his mind. He was going to have Heath Ledger still be in the film. It was probably still going to have a major role in the film. And with Heath Ledger's death, it became impossible. And so he had the task of trying to rebuild his universe, trying to rebuild his movie. And he did the best he could. I just think that it still, falls flat. But I do give him some excuse, some leeway because of the hardship that he had to go through as a writer with one of your best actors and characters no longer being accessible. Alice McCarthy says, so sorry, Odin, for the mistype. Wife's cousin bumped into me. Meant you'll need to watch an episode of Justice League cartoon for the special conclusion for Batman Beyond. Okay, I gotcha. Glinzer says, I used to want a True Lies to, but now Jamie Lee would be the main character, so forget it. 309 people. Holy crap, everybody. This is insane. YouTube is blowing up right now. Oh, man. All right, chat jumped on me once again. Still about 10, 12 minutes behind in the chat. I'm 8:05 in the chat, Captain Wingster. So I'm sorry if any comments were skipped. He says, Odin, do you like Doctor Who? And did you hear Tennant is coming back to be lectured by the female doctor for toxic masculinity? Here's my favorite doctor, so it's so he's my favorite doctor, so it's so degrading. I used to really like Doctor Who. I stopped watching partway through the Peter Capaldi episodes. I liked Peter Capaldi's Doctor a lot, more so than other people did, because I just like him as an actor. But now I'm hesitant to go back because I've heard that the current episodes are terrible. So yeah, I'm sad to hear that. I don't know if that's true or not. I think that Gary said that those rumors are possibly true because apparently David Tennant's not been on set likely for at least this current crop of episodes that they're filming right now I think they're doing the holiday special. They're trying to do holiday special. So will it happen in the future? I could see it happening in the future because that's the direction they're going in. Is it happening right now? I have my doubts because I listen to Gary on that kind of stuff because he still follows it, has inside sources, so I trust his judgment. Apollo Patriot says, did you know in Canada there are removing religious beliefs that is crazy if you follow Rebel News? No, I haven't heard that, but it doesn't surprise me. Canada has been going downhill for a long time now with their really crazed secular government that's really pushing these crazed agendas. Also, they're not pro free speech down there either. Suber says, hate to say it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think in addition to Rian Johnson, the School of Subversion started with George R.R. Martin. Writers wanted to be Game of Thrones without knowing how or why it's good. But that's the thing too, is that I don't really think that some would argue, he had one of the main characters die. But when you read the books, he's not really the main character. When you read the books, you understand that there are several characters and it's just so much wider than one person. The show absolutely paints the picture of he's the lead. They cast Sean Bean in the role, and then season 1 ends the way it does. But in the book, it's a little bit more divvied up as far as who's important as far as the characters go. It's definitely a major character, right? So we could definitely say Subversion of Expectations, it's a major character that gets killed pretty early on in the series. But even then, I think that there's a lot more justification for it. I think you're right there, though, right? What you say towards the end. Not knowing why or how it's good. Because what they fail to realize is that it took pages and pages and pages of character development in order to get to the point where you could kill off that character. And then in the other killings that happen, it takes even more time to get to that point as well. Bruce says, can't wait to see the fundamental across the board that are brought about because of Joker. What? That doesn't make any sense. Orange Eye Review says, the Dark Fate ending even creates a paradox of itself. The movie was a walking paradox. That's what it sounds like, man. That is absolutely what it sounds like. Hamlet's Tragedy 89, thank you very much for the Canadian $2 super chat. Says, Hail Lord Odin. Is there any hope for Star Wars? Ah, yes, Star Wars. There is a very small amount of hope. And the small amount of hope exists in 2 series, The Mandalorian and Clone Wars Season 7. Those are the only 2 things really at this point in time to be excited about in Star Wars. However, hesitantly excited for. Because as much as I like Jon Favreau as a creator, as much as I love Dave Filoni as a creator as well, the Disney machine is still behind them. Kathleen Kennedy is still behind them. Bob Iger is still behind them. And that has me concerned. And that should have a lot of us concerned. So do I have hope? Yes. But not much. Sadly enough, not much. Hamlet's Tragedy 89, thank you again for that super chat. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. The K-Man over on D-Live, thank you for the pumpkin donation. Captain Dean High says, I can't see David Tennant willingly coming back to be berated by Dr. Whammon. I can't see him doing it either. Even for a lot of money, I can't see him doing it. Will Gentry says, yeah, that's a rumor Doomcock heard, but Gary said he knows another rumor that would cuck the 10th Doctor equally badly. Yeah, I think that both of them have heard rumors, and I think that what we can take from that is that one of the male doctors is going to be preached to. I think that seems to make the most sense to me out of all of them. And Mr. Peabody, thank you for the pumpkin donation, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. China Man over on YouTube says, I love all Tarantino films. Jackie Brown, I don't quite love it, but I like it fine. My favorite is Inglourious Basterds and Kill Bill. Inglourious Basterds is definitely one of my all-time favorites. I really do love that one a lot. And the reason why I think is because of the fact that it takes the story in such an interesting direction. I love history. And to me, I love it. I just had a brain fart because someone was... we had a potential person. that was going to troll on D-Live because it's always it's Turkish for some reason. The Turkish people come in randomly and they throw in the Turkish flag. And every time I see the Turkish flag, I'm like, oh boy, that's usually the sign that they're about to troll. And so I had to preemptively take care of that before it started, because it's never a good thing. Anyway, Eric Walker says, Odin question is the lackluster Dark Knight Rises a result of the fact that we lost Joker? Yes. Was it supposed to feature Heath Ledger, couldn't because of his untimely exit, hence the rewrites? Yes, but even then, it still doesn't take away from the weak writing. Bruce says, I think I would rather rewatch all the other Terminator films than go see the new, for free, Woke Fate. I think a lot of us would feel that way for sure. Over on DLive, Will Gentry says, as much as it depressed me, I think Tenet would come back to get... No, I don't. I don't think he would, to be honest. I think he has too much pride. Captain Larry 2001, thank you for the lemon donation. Will Gentry also says, simply because he wouldn't see it as getting cucked, he'd see it as something that needs to be said about society. Do you have enough pumpkins for you, Cinderella carriage yet, says Mr. Peabody. Not enough. I need more pumpkins. More, I tell you. Tina says, I've been asked to see if you've seen any of these films. Gone in 60 Seconds, 1974, no. Dirty Marty, Crazy Larry, no. And Vanishing Point 71, no. We figured you have it. Nope, I have not seen any of those movies, and I haven't heard of them either. I've heard of Gone in 60 Seconds, the remake, not the 1974 version. Let's see. Mr. Peabody, thank you for the pumpkin donation. And Captain Mr. Roy just came in and donated 10 pumpkins. Damn, son. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very, very much. You guys are awesome. Also, I had to refresh my DLive page because I don't think it was accurate. Yeah, there we go. It was saying that no one person was watching. I'm like, there's like 3 people that have been commenting consistently. So we have 343 people watching on YouTube right now. Holy crap. Where are you all coming from? Welcome to the channel, but where are you coming from? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Super Anime Gamer on YouTube says, George R. R. Martin has stated that he won't be writing Game of Thrones prequel episodes until The Winds of Winter is finished, so it will probably be a while. Interesting. Or maybe it means that the book is almost done. Fingers crossed, maybe. China Man says, Batman Begins is the best written comic book film. Dark Knight excluded. It also is my second favorite comic book movies. Such a great origin story. He got Batman right. I agree. It really is one of the best origin stories. That's why I love it so much, and it's very, very, very underrated. Chris Stanley coming in. Thank you very much for the $5 donation through Streamlabs. Says, another great stream, Odin. You deserve it. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Super Anime Gamer says, two things to me that could save Paramount. They way overpaid for Fox, so they won't be buying anything for a while. And 2, I can't think of anything Paramount owns that Disney really wants. That's why I was wondering if anyone could look up what big properties they own. Jay Stowe says, speaking of good series, browsing Amazon and saw they are re-releasing Farscape on Blu-ray and is supposed to have the Peacekeeper Wars with it instead of the separate release. Interesting. I never saw Farscape. Smooth Jam California says, guess who's back again. Smooth Jam's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Paulo Patriot says, you my movie news better than Rotten Tomatoes. Well, thank you, Paulo Patriot. Lorenzo Who, have you seen the outrage over people dancing on stairs because of Joker? The outrage over it? No, I haven't. I think it's hilarious. I love the photos of the people dancing on the stairs because that's awesome. Like, that's what good movies should do. Should inspire people to do stuff like that. It's so amazing that they were obsessed. The media was obsessed that someone was going to do something really bad. And they wanted it too because they wanted the ratings for it. Because that's just what the media does, and it's disgusting. But instead, what happened? People danced on stairs. And now people are complaining about that? Wow. Society, man, let me tell you. Spoo Jam California says, thoughts on the groundbreaking news that is Spider-Verse 2's announcement last night. Personally, I'm stoked. Will be good to see the real Spider-Man again. Yeah, Spider-Verse 1 I enjoyed for the most part. I wasn't as... My problem with Spider-Verse was the animation style was not very good. Now, hear me out before you freak out, because I know some people are going to be like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? The images looked great. It was the motion. Whatever effects they decided to do for the motion of the characters in Spider-Verse was not well thought out. It looked like it was stop motion. And it didn't look good. It didn't look natural. and it was very annoying. It was very distracting to the eyes, and it took away from the experience of the movie. So as long as they keep the same, I guess you could say, images, like the animation style of the actual character development, but change the way the movement plays out, I would be much more keen to watch it. But the way it played out, I was not a fan of it. Let's see. Alex McCarthy on YouTube says, I think my comment got jumped a while ago, so I'll say it again. Congrats on 19K. It's well-deserved, Chris Jericho of the Fandom Menace. Can't wait till 100K, my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you, Alex McCarthy. I appreciate it, man. It'll be a while. It'll be a while before 100K. I'm thinking that sometime next year, I would say in the next 2 months, we have a chance, 3 months, we have a chance to hit 20K. And 20K is a very exciting time for me. So I think we can get that. I think we can get to that point quickly. 100K, it's going to be probably a couple more years. Bruce says, you think Disney would listen to the stockholders? You know they're screaming, go woke, go broke. What the heck are you doing? Yeah, I can only imagine what it means to be a stockbroker right now, or a stockholder, rather, for Disney right now. Harvard Bentho says, I think that Josh Brolin in MIB3 is one of the best examples of how to properly cast the younger version of an established character. He was uncannily similar to Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, as many issues as Men in Black 3 had, that casting choice was definitely a good choice. Chinaman says, Tenet is my anticipated film of 2020. I heard the film has some time travel and story in reverse, has $225 million budget. Imagine investing $225 million for original film. The studio trusts him. Love Warner Brothers. Yeah, seriously, man. But here's the other thing, too. That makes me scared, because as much as Nolan is a great filmmaker, there's a chance that there are not enough Nolan fans to make up for that $225 million they put into that film. So they better market the hell out of that movie. And again, I trust Nolan to deliver, but you've got to do more than just deliver with that, man. Catherine Winkster says, Odin, if HBO Max has old Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes, will the service also have Tom and Jerry? I would assume that there's a chance. I would assume that would probably be part of the discussion. Sweet Jack California says, take a shot every time Odin says, chat jumping on me. What happens a lot then? Tina says, Mecca just dropped a video that Ryan Roundhead Johnson is taking shots at Star Wars fans in his new movie, so I'm guessing Knives Out? Yeah, he said this recently, that the controversy with the Star Wars fandom inspired Knives Out, or inspired parts of Knives Out, which just doesn't make you want to actually watch the movie. It makes you want to boycott the film even more. He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. He does not understand fans. He doesn't understand that we are a much larger number than he thinks that we are, and we speak with our wallets, and that would include not seeing his movie. Lord. I don't know why I'm having an allergic reaction right now. Eric Walker says, set the bar, it is then. That's a better nuanced view. I didn't know Nolan had any involvement in Man of Steel. Seems so different from anything else he's worked on. He helped produce. He was like an executive producer. Jay Stowe says, since you reached 19K, are you going to celebrate with a little bit of the bubbly? Oh yeah, we got an AEW reference in there. Oh yeah. Well, I don't enjoy the alcoholic beverage, so I'll enjoy a little bit of the water. Yeah. Man, finally caught up on last week's AEW. That Moxley promo, oh my goodness. Glinzer says, I've lost faith in those future Avatar movies. Have you? Yes. But here's the thing. I lost faith in them after the first movie because I didn't like the first Avatar. Stevie B says, no spitting or running in the pool area. Patui. I spit at that command. Patui. Sasha Neon says, those crappy Last Jedi bombers must be dropping Dark Fates. Only way I could bomb this hard. R.I.P. Paige Tico. Yes, it must be those magnetic bombs from The Last Jedi. Jeremy Swigs, 300 viewing. My, aren't you the popular one? Yeah, I don't know why, but hello to everyone watching. We are at 350 people. We at Tree Fit. Welcome to Odin's Movie Blog. Did y'all know I have a movie blog? If you have not hit that sub button yet, please hit subscribe. Please hit the like bell. Hit the bell too, because YouTube doesn't notify you. You would think that being subscribed would notify, but no, you have to hit the bell. So hit the bell. Turn on notifications. You're awesome. I'm sorry that I'm sick. I'm sorry that I've got the sniffles now. Ever since that sneeze, I haven't been the same. All right, chat jumped on me once again. I'm at 820 in the chat. So long this thing has been going on that Father Christopher is back as well. Currently, it's 8:34 where I am, so I'm about 14 minutes behind in the chat. So if you're wondering where your comment's not being read, I'm 14 minutes behind, and the chat jumped on me, so there's a chance that the comment is now lost forever because YouTube sucks. Sasanian says, Canada is down? Canada is down? Is Canada down? Did they shut down for some reason? Harvard Bentho, my advice regarding Doctor Who is to watch all the way through season 9, then watch the Christmas special, The Husbands of River Song, then quit. It's all downhill after that. Yeah, I would like to finish the Peter Capaldi years. And I do want to actually watch the newer season, too, to make up my own mind. I do like being able to watch things for myself to make up my own mind as well. Captain Winkster says, Odin, all I'm saying is that we should have taken over Canada when we had the chance. Damn Canadians. All I can think about is South Park. Bigger, longer, and uncut. Over on DLive, Will Gentry says, ask Clownfish TV what it's like to be a Disney shareholder right now. A lot of their hair getting pulled out on that channel. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that Clownfish TV have shares. And then he also says, you can have bubbly water. That is true. Charzy123, I am so excited for The Haunting of Hill House Season 2. Director said it's way scarier, and I love Season 1. I haven't seen Season 1 because I don't like scary stuff, personally, so I've kind of avoided it like the plague because I'm a scaredy cat. Mirror Jeremy says, Ned's death set the whole theme of the show. You're right. You're absolutely right. Chinaman says, Onlin even did a great film. Nolan, sorry. Nolan even did a great film with no main character. Dunkirk was all about the event and not the characters, and that's hard to make a film with no relatable and make it good. And that's my biggest problem and gripe with it, is that there is no main character. You don't find out about the characters on screen, and I like character-driven stories. So the film was very well made, but that's also one of the reasons why Dunkirk is not one of my favorites. I think it's overrated because of that reason. And then Slicer says, there was never much hope, just a fool's hope. Oh. Some bless yous in the chat. God bless you, says Jerry. Thank you. I appreciate it. JP Gotrokits says, that's because Saturday nights are all right for fighting. Yeah, that's right. Sunny B says, bless you. Thank you. Larry says, Game of Thrones is the TV series, not the books to the masses. Yeah, that's true. Because it's a Song of Ice and Fire. You're right. Oh, man. I got the sniffles. I don't know why. Harriet Bentho says, The Husbands of River Song is a good finale for Doctor Who, as it ends with the closest to a happily ever after ending for the Doctor is ever likely to get. No plot lines are left unresolved. So then why do they keep going? If they're just going to end it for the Doctor in a good way, why would they move on? I don't understand it. Lorenzo Who says, you should put a counter for each time the chat jumps on you. Yeah, seriously. Hybrid says, I may have missed a lot of things, but has there been a non-chronological movie ever since Memento or Pulp Fiction? I can't remember anything else that comes to mind ever since. There's been films that have not been linear. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there have been films recently that have not been linear. None have ever gone backwards the way that Memento did, but there have been films that have jumped around similar to Pulp Fiction, I would say. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. There's been some series, for example, Legion, great show. Got into that because of Gary, and that show was fantastic. That show jumps around time-wise a lot. Chinaman says, Inglourious Basterds has one of the best opening scenes I've seen. The tension in that scene was insane. Here's the thing. As soon as that opening scene was done, I said, this man deserves an Oscar. Talking about Tarantino. Not only is it well written, it's perfectly acted. It's perfectly shot. That scene could have been a short film and should have won all the awards. The fact that that film didn't win as many awards as it should have is a travesty. I think that film got nominated for Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken, but that film deserved so much more. Bruce says, sorry, bad editing last time. Can't waiting for the fundamental... It still doesn't make any sense. Can't waiting for the fundamental across the board changes to the movie industry because of the joke. That still doesn't make any sense, Bruce. I don't think it means what you think it means. Super says, well, readers consider everything with POV chapter a main character. At least that's how my friends and I think. But exactly it works because of a character development and logical event progression. Harbender says, many see Cavill as dull and brooding, but I think that's Snyder's fault. When he got to play a traditional Superman in parts of Justice League, he was good and is jovial in real life. He is jovial in real life, and I think there's just a lot of problems overall. I think there's a lot of problems overall. Charzy, I'm glad to hear that you enjoy that movie. Or rather, I'm glad to hear that you enjoy Haunting on Hill House. It's just not for me, man. It's just not for me. Aiden Vickery says, you have a healthy like to dislike also. Well, thank you, Aiden Vickery. That is also very important. So thank you to everyone that has been dropping the likes. I appreciate it. Amy Artist, thank you for the $5 super chat on YouTube, says, love your box office summaries. Joker has just passed 900 million. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Amy. Yeah, we've heard about that already, that it already has passed the night. We kind of knew that it was getting that direction, so it's awesome that it has finally passed it officially. We don't have an exact number yet, though, so I'm holding off on it for now, because once the numbers update 11 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, we'll get the actual official number of how much it's made so far, at least the estimates, which are usually pretty close, and then we'll get the actuals a little after that fact. And once we get that, then I think I'll be able to speak more about it. So wait for tomorrow's box office breakdown on the Geeks and Gamers channel, and I'm probably going to talk about it here too, depending on how much money it makes too. So yeah. Let's see. Super Anime Gamer says, I appreciate your optimism, Odin. I think he made that promise about writing the TV show because he knows how bad he looks. And personally, I think even he is shocked he's not done yet. Yeah. I think that's fair. George R.R. Martin, come on, man. Finish the book, please. And also, Amy Artist, thank you so much again for that super chat. I really do appreciate it a lot. It's a new name on the channel, so I always appreciate reading some new names as well. So thank you. And also thank you for the words about the box office summaries. I've been falling back in love with box office numbers recently, so it's been fun to do a lot more videos like that on the main channel. Charzy123, thank you for the follow, man. Thank you for the follow. So you were tagging me in all those comments, asking me to read them, give me trouble for reading them over on DLive, and you hadn't even followed the channel? Come on, dude. Come on, man. Will Gentry, thank you for putting him in his place. Tell him how it really goes. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. It's all good fun. It's all good fun. Let us see here. Harabendo says, even if the good old days never existed, the fact that we can conceive such a world is, in effect, an affirmation of the human spirit. Orson Welles. Great Orson Welles quote right there. Orange Eye Review says, your package should arrive Monday, open on Tuesday for low council. Please, I will do the best that I can. There was a package that was sent yesterday. Did not get a chance to go to the post office today. So Monday will be the next time I will be able to go. So I'll probably have a few packages. Hybrid X13. Hey, what's the matter with you? Hey, Star-Lord vs. Joker for the best dance-off. Oh, I get the dance-off reference. I didn't get the song reference. Professional Gun 66 says, please sing the original Spider-Man cartoon theme. Spider-Man does the things that a spider can. That's pretty much all of the song that I remember. The actual words, the exact words. I prefer Spider-Pig does the things that a Spider-Pig does. Bruce says that stop motion type of animation is the trailer is what kept me away from the movie, says Bruce. Yeah, so speaking about, once again, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that type of animation style to me was so disjointed and so distracting. It kept me from watching. 368 people watching. Holy crap. You guys are the best. Drop that like button. Hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already, man. Smoothie out of California says, did you see the video of the kid dressed as Joker dancing down the staircase? He won Halloween, that's for sure. Yes, I have, Smooth Jam. It was an excellent video. Grandmaster Yoda says, the shareholders have not tanked Disney stock with parks flop because they all go in streaming. That didn't make any sense, man. Tina says, it was for Odin. Yeah, thanks for letting them know how to contact me. Harabendo says, do you think that Jungle Cruise will be financially successful? Also, the trailer reminds me a lot of The Mummy with a little bit of the African Queen thrown in. Because of the actors involved, I think that it will definitely be financially soluble. I think that it will make its money back. Whether it'll be a giant success, it's not as well known of a story because it's a ride that they're now turning into a movie. is basically the last I heard of what the film itself is. So, yeah. All right. Chat jumped on me, but did not skip comments. So that's good. 8:32 in the chat. It's 8:44 where I am, so I'm still a little bit behind on the YouTube chat. Tina says, I thought Knives Out was his homage to Agatha Christie and his Orange Man bad BS. I figured he'd work in with Star Wars fans who despise this movie. Pretty much, man. Yeah, pretty much, Tina. Like, seriously, it's amazing that this dude is so great at pissing people off. It's like he wants to fail. It's like he wants to lose money. It's just truly amazing. It really is. It truly is. Charzy123 over on DLav says, Joker was my favorite movie in the last couple of years. It was a great film. Great film. Captain High says, it's sad that these days now will someday be the good old days. It is. It is interesting how all that works. And Charzy says that he's subbed on YouTube. Okay, cool. So why aren't you in the YouTube chat then? Slash Neon says there is sparkling water. There is sparkling water, but I don't like sparkling water. Hybrid says, have you seen the 2007 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? I thought it had an interesting plot, but it took itself too seriously. No, I haven't. I personally loved the live action 90s films, and everything else since just can't match it. Alex McCarthy says, AEW was awesome this week, and with NXT there, SmackDown was pretty good last night. Yeah, I watched SmackDown too, and isn't it amazing that the ratings spiked for SmackDown? The ratings spiked for SmackDown because Brock Lesnar quit SmackDown and NXT invaded. That should tell you all you need to know about the current product going on over there. Super says, how on earth can you get hired to make a Star Wars film while simultaneously having no idea what it's like to be a geek? Depressing. I agree. Jeremy Swiggs, never drink either. Welch's sparkling grape juice is great substitute. Yeah. Harmon, this says, I highly recommend True Lies. It's both my favorite James Cameron movie and my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's hilarious. One of the best action comedies of all time. It's on my list of movies to watch. All right. It is now, we're an hour and 47 in, but I have 350. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do. I could keep going. But I'm torn. There's 365 people watching. We've never had this many people watching for this long. And so part of me just kind of wants to go a little bit more. I don't know. Anyway, Shia Stormdragon, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Shia says, have you seen the deepfake video of George Lucas reacting to the rise of Soy Walker? I have, and it's wonderful. And I still can't believe that it was actually done by Collider Video. The only video I've seen of it is under Collider Video, and they just are such shills for Star Wars. I can't believe that they actually made it. And it's wonderful. And it's so true. It is exactly what George Lucas would probably say. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. I love all the little laughs. All the little mannerisms are just so perfect. It's great. I love it. It's so great. Let's see. Sierra Productions says, you're not alone where I'm at. It's allergy season. Cool. So I'm gonna stay on for a little longer, but I'm gonna have to start skipping some comments, the ones that are a little bit too long. Nicolas says, hope you're not allergic to large chat room crowds. It seems to be the case. Glenzer says, the French movie Irreversible went backwards, but it's a harrowing experience. Interesting. All right, again, I'm very sorry if I'm taking your comments, but I do need to start wrapping things up, so I'm still going to read comments, but just short ones. JP Gertrokis says, humbly, it's pronounced got rockets. Got rockets. Got it. I'm usually good with pronunciations, but I did not see that one coming. Got rockets. JP got rockets. Gotcha. Let's see. Short comments. Bruce says, 3 packages for me. From me will be there Monday as well. Well, Bruce, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Very much. You're awesome. All righty. Short comments. Looking for the short comments. Da-da-da-da. Nicola says, Christoph Waltz won an Oscar just for that opening scene of Inglourious Basterds. Just awesome. Yes, and it was well deserved. Alice Carly says, did you know that Tina should start a channel? It would be wonderful. Yes, Tina, who is the Valkyrie in the chat right now, needs to start her own YouTube channel because she is brilliant. Tina says, can he swing from a thread? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out. Here comes Spider Pig. Yeah, there it is. Bruce says, 358 watching. Something must be wrong with YouTube agronomy. Yeah, seriously. It's never happened before. I don't know if I've got some special helpers behind the scenes sharing the video and such, or if it's just the algorithm working in my favor for once. I don't know. But again, if you're here right now, so glad to have you as a part of this experience, man. So very, 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 very happy to have you here. You're awesome people. You are awesome people. J Monkey says, do it. Do it. Tina says, go for it. Go for it. And make sure, yeah, I'm sadly only reading short comments for now, though. Slicer says, drop a sweet beat when you wrap it up. Is that the kind of beat that you were looking for over there? Sharzi over on D-Live says, have you seen Motherless Brooklyn? I might watch it. I have not seen it. I hear it's Edward Norton's directorial debut. It is out in theaters where I am, so that might be one of my 3 movies I try and watch tomorrow. I probably will only get to watch 2 movies, but I'm going to try and go for 3. We'll see what I can do tomorrow. Bruce Wayne 128, thanks for following me over on D-Live, man. I appreciate you very, very, very much so. Kathleen High says, why'd D-Live switch from Lino to Lemon? I think it's still technically Lino, but no, you're right. You are right. I'm assuming it's because it was getting too confusing, and so now they decided to switch their base cryptocurrency to being the name of their lowest cryptocurrency. So Lemons is what makes up everything. I don't know why they did that. I actually do not know why they did that, Captain Heiss. It's a great question. They don't tell me nothing. Larry says, Alita is my daughter, sister, my hero. Alita's pretty awesome. Grandma Zeta says, YouTube benefit Dark Fate as topic at the moment, so video title helps. Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Short comments say, I will not say that, Jeremy Swiggs, because that is blasphemy. That is blasphemy. You are asking me to say blasphemy. Stephanie B, do you know the way? Stephanie B, do you know the way, my friend? Do you know the way? You know what? We just hit a milestone tonight. Let's do some giveaways. Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's do some giveaways. D-Live people, you stick around because your giveaway is going to be the crypto that I'm going to give back to you at the end of the stream, because I'm gonna have a pretty sweet pot at the end of the stream on D-Live. But YouTube people, we're going to do some giveaways. We're going to do some giveaways right here. Do you know the way? Glenzer says, the Lighthouse will be nominated Best Cinematography. Most likely indeed. All right, so let's start off with, let's start with some physical. This will be an international giveaway. So if you're not in the United States, don't worry. I will send it your way. Jerry RN, thank you for the $2 super chat, says, think Kathleen will now push Johnson for trilogy. More so now, yes, because of their loss of Benioff and Weiss. That was the direction they were trying to go in. And I think that now there is a void that has been left over. And because of the void that's been left over, they are now more likely to push someone like Rian Johnson, because they've already admitted they like working with him. They do it. He does whatever they ask him to do. So he's an easy puppet for them. I could totally see them doing it. Anyway, so this will be an international giveaway on YouTube. And I have 3 copies. So I'm sure most of you already have the movie, but if you don't, now is your chance to get it. I've got 3 copies of Alita Battle Angel on Blu-ray. 3 copies. So if you're interested in winning a copy of Alita Battle Angel on Blu-ray, you can enter into the giveaway. Let me go ahead and get it set up for you. So again, this is going to be exclusive to YouTube. D-Live fam, I will take care of y'all with crypto in a second. But D-Live fam, or rather YouTube fan, we're at 392 people watching. Holy crap. If you want to enter into this giveaway, You need to be a regular, meaning you have to have had at least 2 hours of watch time. I will double check. Because I keep track of watch time. It's just a way to reward people that even if you don't donate, you are still a part, you still donate your time, because to me, time is the most precious thing. So sorry if you've just started watching. You'll be eligible for future giveaways. I do giveaways every now and then on the channel. So anyway, let me get the giveaways set up right now. Right meow. All right. So this one will be the way that you enter into the giveaways. For those that are new to the channel, is that if you're a regular, what you have are cookies. Every time you watch the channel, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of people putting exclamation point cookies. When you do that, it tells you your cookie count. Your cookie count is essentially your currency from Asgard. It's your Asgardian currency. And you can use that currency to enter into the giveaways that I do every now and then. And so every giveaway is going to have a different entering amount. And for this one, it's going to be 50 cookies to enter. And you can enter up to 100 times. Now, you're not just putting this thing in 100 times. You're not spamming the chat. All right. The way it works is that you put enter exclamation point, you put a space, and then you put the number of tickets that you want to buy. But you need to make sure what your cookie count is, so that way you can actually enter in correctly. Because if you don't, if you put in more tickets than you can afford, more cookies than you have, it's not going to count it at all. All right. And I'm sure people in the chat will be able to help you out with that. So the first giveaway is going to be, so again, this is going to be, we're going to pick 3 names for the 3 Blu-rays I've got. So the first giveaway is going to be the 3 Alita Battle Angel Blu-rays that I have. So again, these are all sealed. They include the Blu-ray, the DVD, and the digital code. If you've never seen this movie, it's a great film. If you don't own this movie, it's a must-own for the collection. It looks beautiful on Blu-ray and 4K, and it has over 2 hours of extra features as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start the giveaway right now. All right, so Heimdall is going to give you some instructions. So if you want to enter in for a chance to win Alita Battle Angel on Blu-ray, you're putting enter exclamation point, all one word. Enter exclamation point, all one word. You're putting a space, and then you're putting the number of tickets you want to buy. It's 50 cookies. That's my digital currency. It's 50 cookies per ticket, max of 100. So you can put in a max of 100 tickets. And D-Live fam, y'all hold tight. I'm dealing with the giveaway right now, so I'm very, very sorry indeed. And I will let you know what has been turned in on my end. So Blake Hemlow has 25 tickets. Ryan S. has 10 tickets. So let's see. I'm trying to see anyone else. It is indeed a must-have. I know that's a lot of... Soul Assassin, I got you down for 10. Grandmaster Yoda, I got you down for 50. Father Christopher Miller, I got you down for 15. So far, all these people are regulars of the channel because I recognize their names. So I know they have at least 2 hours of watch time. If it's a new person, I will check to make sure, because it is just a way that I'm able to give back to the people that watch. Because none of these people have to give me any money whatsoever. Time is a great currency here. Eric Walker for 3. Zakarot, I got you down for 100. Hardwick Bentho, I got you down for 79 entries. So again, max of 100. So again, you put enter exclamation point space, the number of tickets you want to buy. It's 50 cookies per ticket, 100 tickets max. And thank you for explaining, thank you for explaining it, Larry, to anyone that maybe doesn't understand how it works. So again, I got Blake Hemlow, Ryan S., Soul Assassin, Grandmaster Yoda, Father Christopher Miller, Zakarot 315, Eric Walker, and Hardwick Bentho are the ones that have entered in thus far. Darkness, I got you down for 1, bud. Alex Garley says, Lon Chaney. What about Lon Chaney? What you trying to say about Lon Chaney, bruv? What you trying to say about Lon Chaney? Again, if you try and put in more than what you have, it's not going to count it. So Darkness got you down for 1. Kiko Rogers, I got you down for 1 as well. Grouse Yoda says, was it region locked? Let me see. I don't think it is, but as I said, I will send internationally. I'm not seeing any letters on here. So wait, hold on. There it is. It is Region A. So for those international people, it is the Blu-ray is Region A. The DVD is NTSC. I think NTSC means it can go anywhere DVD wise. But if you have a region free player, it'll play for you. So it is Region A. Most of the Blu-rays that I have to give away are going to be American based, so you can usually expect that. All right. Cool. All right, so Mr. Peabody, I got you in for 10. All right, so we will be closing the entries to the giveaway in 3, 2, and 1. All right, the giveaway is now closed, and now we will be picking our winners. So the first winner of the first Blu-ray is Hardwick Bentho. Hardwick Bentho, claim your prize. Hardwick Bentho, claim your prize. Hardwick Bentho, claim your prize, good sir. Claim your prize. Boom, he claims it. Awesome. So Hardwick Bentho, what you need to do is you need to email me, odinsmovieblog@gmail.com. Email me and let me know where I am sending it. Give me the full address, please. All right, got Hardwick Bentho. Awesome. Congratulations, good sir. All right, the next winner of the Blu-ray is... let me see. Let me make sure I didn't double click. Make sure I didn't double click there. You never want someone to double click. Zacharot 315. Zacharot, claim your prize. And Zacharot, let me go ahead and check real quick to see if you are. I recognize your name, but I want to make sure. I got to make sure that you are a regular. Got to have at least 2 hours of watch time. Let me see if I can find my little counter. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum-bum. Let's go by name. Let's see here. Let us see here. So, Zacharot. So, let's see. Z. I am not seeing that name on my list. I'm sorry, bud. But yeah, you got to be a regular for this giveaway. I did stipulate that at the very beginning, man. If you can put exclamation point cookies, you can tell me what YouTube is saying but I'm not seeing you on my list. I'm not seeing you on my list at all, bruv. I did say this is exclusive. This is exclusive. Trying to find Zacharot. I'm not seeing it on my list. So, Zacharot, you got to put exclamation point cookies, plural. Yeah. Let's see what the bot says, because the bot keeps track of these things. Peabody says, you know I have the points, but I didn't want to be greedy. You have already sent me so much. No, Peabody, don't even worry about it. But I want my Mandy movie. I thought I already said that to you, bro. I could have sworn I already sent it to you. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Yeah, I'm about to say I'm not seeing it, man. Oh, there he is. 5 hours. Cool. He has 5 hours. Awesome. So he has 5 hours. He's got it. All right, cool, man. You've got 5 hours of watch time. That is more than enough. Boom, I got you. So same thing, Zacharot. Email me, odinsmovieblog@gmail.com, and I will get your copy sent to you. And the last winner is Mr. Peabody. Congratulations, Mr. Peabody. Mr. Peabody, claim your prize. Mr. Peabody, claim your prize. I was just talking to you, but you still got to claim it, Mr. Peabody. You still got to claim it. You still got to claim it, good sir. Oh, man. So, Zacharot, Harvey Bentho, and Peabody, email me, odinsmovieblog@gmail.com, and that way I can get you set up with it. Peabody is here. Cool. He is on D Live. He's switching back and forth. All right. Next thing I will be giving away. Let's do another giveaway. RoboBrain 1000, thank you for subscribing to the channel, is a Blu-ray copy of Ringu. Ringu is the original Japanese film that The Ring is based off of. This is a Region A Blu-ray. So I know that for some people that they were wondering. So, boom. Ringu. So for this one, it's a little bit more obscure. So let me just reset this real quick. So this will be for Ringu. It's an Arrow Video release, so it's a very good quality release. And let's see. This one will make 25. So this one, it'll be 25 cookies per ticket. And boom, it is now open. So if you want a chance to win Ringu, this will also be an international giveaway, but this is a Region A Blu-ray. So it will only work if you have a region-free player, or if you're in the United States and have just a regular standard Blu-ray player. This is a US release, or Region A. There are some parts of the world that also use Region A as well. But Ringu, again, what the American remake known as The Ring is originally based off of. So, Ringu, Arrow Video release film. So same thing, enter ! Space, the number of tickets you want to get. Robert Frey, I got you in for 4. Rhaegar Targaryen, I got you in for 100. Dean Heiss, I got you in for 25. Blake Hemlow, I got you in for 33. All right, we got some people that want some Ringu action in here. Very exciting. It's so exciting. Will Gentry says, is it dubbed or subtitled? All I know is that it does have subtitles. So at the very least, you got subtitles. I'm not sure. Let's see. Optional English subtitles. New audio commentary. Lossless Japanese master audio. I'm not seeing if it says it's dubbed. Mono. It's a mono track, though. It's 5.1 audio mono track, Japanese language. So it looks like it's just subtitles, but there very well could be an English dub version on it. I'm not exactly sure. Glinzer's like, dubbed? Don't watch it like that, man. I think that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Charzy, I don't watch scary movies. This is a movie that was sent to me. So I have a relationship with a group called MVD Visual, and they send me movies all the time. And they sent me the entire Ringu set. And what's cool about this is that this is a film that actually is more psychologically thrilling than the American remake. The American remake is all, pop, jump scares, etc., which is stupid. But this actually looks pretty good. Mike Martinez says, sorry I disappear randomly during the streams. I just have a lot to do. Again, crats on 19K. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Jay Stowe says, has Arrow been around long? This is the first time I've heard of the company with the Ringu set release. Yeah, they've been around for several years now at this point. I guess you could say they're relatively new to the game. They're basically a cheaper version of Criterion in a certain way. So they do exactly what Criterion does. They do very good transfers of 35mm prints of older films. Usually they're a little bit more obscure films rather than, the Criterion ones, which are considered the classics, right? This tends to take different types of films. I think it's a little bit more rambunctious with it. But yeah, so it's about just as good. Odin, you're still going, a real trooper here. Well, we have 370. We almost had 400 people watching at one point in time, man. So I was like, I can't end it right away. I'm doing some giveaways now. Anyway, Hammer, I got you in for 50 tickets. All right. So Robert Frey for 4, Rhaegar Targaryen for 100, Dean Heiss for 25, Blake Hemlow for 33, Aiden Vickery for 10, Hammer for 50. This is for the Ringu Blu-ray Region A film. All right, so going once, going twice, and the giveaway is now closed. giveaway is now closed. I have one copy of Ringu to give away, and the winner of the Ringu. Hyperman says, Patui, I spit on you, my brother. Patui, I spit on that comment. The winner of the Ringu the Ringu Blu-ray is the man that goes by the name of Hammer. Congratulations, Hammer. Hammer, claim your prize. Hammer, claim your prize. Claim your prize, good sir. Claim your prize. Boom, Hammer's there. Hammer, same thing. Email me odinsmovieblog@gmail.com for your chance. Or rather, not for your chance. So that way email me your address, so that way I know where I am sending that to. And let's do these. No, let's save these. That's plenty. That is plenty. Anyway, thank you so much for being here tonight, everybody. Hybrid says, you want me to put the hammer down? You put the hammer down right now. Thank you for sending the email, Peabody. Anyway, thank you so much for being here tonight, everybody. Seriously, this has been a great stream. This has been the craziest stream, 19,000 subscribers, and we've hit a record for the amount of people watching all at a given time. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed the stream, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Joris Isermans, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. And I am now going to shout out some people because it is a new month, which means a new list of patrons. Some patrons that have left, but some patrons that still remain, and some new patrons as well. And it looks like a couple people were not processed in time. I will send y'all individual messages after the stream. But if you're wondering why you maybe haven't been shouted out, some people were not... did not get processed correctly. So anyway, my November patrons, I'll have to update the list in a second, but my November patrons, a huge shout out to you. Animation commentator, Brian P., Edward Coleman, Elizabeth M., Enrique Evangelista, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, Frank the Tank and the Shawny Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, The Hunka Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Intertrap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, JJ Jonathan Jerembeck, Lady T, brand new, Lady T, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Patrick Layden, Perpetual Punster, Reef Magos, Rosetta Allen, The DJD Show, Theodore Bendon, Those Two Ball Guys, and US Dutch Kitty. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. And also a huge shout out to my Subscribe Star subscribers as well. We got Larry, Drunken Welfare Man, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, History Girl, Tina B, G2 Cool 99, Darkstar 57, Laura Story, Alice McCarthy, US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J-Rod, The Beer Guru. Let us see. Nebadon G. Adams and ZK Man. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Thank you for being here. Sasha Neon says, a well-deserved 19K. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Vickery says, it's been a pleasure as always. Now go and sort that sniffle out. Yeah, seriously, the sniffle is driving me crazy. We've almost gone up to another... We're almost at 400 again, everybody. Why do you shout Alan to the side, though? Because I don't want to shout it into the microphone to save your ears? I thought I was being kind. Hammer says, wow, I only win on Odin's live streams. Thank you. No problem at all, Hammer, man. It's, again, I don't know how it works. It's all by chance, but I'm glad that you win, man. I'm glad when anyone wins. Yeah, seriously, dude, it's insane. Almost 400 watching. This is crazy. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. I don't understand it. But also remember, Father Christopher Miller, I see that you say you're turning in, but remember, you gain an hour of remember, your clocks. Guys, your clocks. Your clocks. Remember that you gain an hour of sleep tonight. If you're in the United States, at the very least, you gain that hour of sleep. And that hour of sleep is precious because sleep is one of the greatest gifts that we've ever been given. And it's important for us to take advantage of that sleep. It's very, very important. Very, very, very important. The reason why I'm shouting is because it's from a great video. Look it up on YouTube. It's a video of, I guess you could say, gophers, prairie dogs. Prairie dogs, I think, would be the most accurate thing. And the mouth keeps moving and the head moves. And someone in post production decided to add in the voice of Alan. That's where I get it from. It's kind of this thing that many people have seen. Anyway, Super Random Gamer says, thanks for hosting an amazing stream, my dude. Congrats on the 19K and almost 400 view count. Have a great night. You have a great night as well. Net fun. Hail to you. Grandmaster Yuno says, Paramount will have a huge hit with Top Gun 2 in 2020. Definitely a good chance of that being a huge hit. Anyway, you guys freaking rock. I love you so much. As Guardians, you are my lifeblood. This has been so much fun. I haven't gone over 2 hours in a while. And yeah, seriously, for all the newcomers here, please join us again. We'll have another stream on Monday evening, same time, same channel. And, or sorry, not Monday evening, Tuesday evening. Sorry, we'll have the next stream on Tuesday evening for the One Man Low Council. And yeah, it's always a humbling experience jumping on and having things like this happen. So you guys are freaking awesome. For everyone that won the giveaways tonight, congratulations. Make sure you email me now-ish, so that way I can get all that stuff taken away and hopefully get all that stuff in the mail by Monday, especially if anyone's international. Anyway, you guys are awesome. I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Thanks again to the Subscribe Star and Patreon peeps. And don't forget that, in the words of the great Quentin Tarantino, well, I just reject your hypothesis. Right? So Dark Fate, I reject your hypothesis. And so does the box office. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful evening. And I just don't even want to leave. This has just been so special. And it's very rare that moments like this happen. But I do got to go because it's getting close to my bedtime. And I got to get this sniffle taken care of. You guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. Shout out to the Valks, Tina and Steph. Love you all so much. D-Live fam, you stick around. I'm going to take care of y'all in a second. Love you all so much, and God bless.